Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Monday Sound Stream, where we have so much news that isn't Power Rangers. We're not talking about Power Rangers. The fandom ruined it. We'll talk about it later, but not on this stream. It's just not happening. So if you ask me questions about today's drama or whatnot, I'm just not going to answer them. I'm not going to ignore you. I'm just too tired to deal with it. I can't. So, that's the upfront disclaimer. I'm not dealing with it today. Don't worry, there'll still be plenty of complaining out of me on other things. I'm going to introduce him first because for the first time, I think ever, he's here from the jump. It's Wheelchair 21.
Yeah, it's actually the first time in 3 months, actually.
Yeah, and my memory only works 2 months in the past or 6 years ago.
You'll answer all the questions on Wednesday stream. You'll just show up and rant.
I might, yeah.
Vent there.
If I feel like it.
Vent there on Wednesday.
If I feel like it. I don't know. It's been so hot lately. Just heat has been killer. And my swamp cooler went out last week.
Just make a basement. Just make a basement.
I tried. It didn't work.
Dig a hole.
Exactly. Dig a hole or report under your bed.
Yeah, so the thing is that we have a crawl space under the house, which is essentially a good 3 feet deep. And yeah, this is it's a Mando shirt with a Grogu, so it's a new one. And it's actually 10 degrees hotter down there than it is above. And I'm just okay. Anyways, yeah, Spin Dash has let's save news discussions with the actual official news. Exactly. That's how we work around here. But anyways, we also of course have our usual co-hosts of awesomeness. And I'm gonna roulette it in my brain and see where it lands. Fighter Cows.
Hey, how's it going? I'm not sick.
Yeah, he's not sick anymore. He was sick last week. I'm glad he's not sick. And then of course we've got our wonderful graphic designer Ryan Darklaw643.
The Pookie Strikes Back is that's the subtitle for the Power Rangers fan of this whole year.
Yeah, honestly.
I'm just gonna say
we're moving on from that.
His new name is gonna be Fukatsu no P.
Yes, I agree. So, anyways, let's do a rundown of who's already in the chat because there's several of you here, which makes me happy. I'm glad you all enjoyed these because I enjoyed doing these. I did a lot of extra prep work for today's stream.
How long have we been doing these streams? It's almost been a year since we've been doing these streams.
I'd have to check, but I think we started last fall, in fall of 2022. So I would imagine we're coming up to a year. I'll look it up and make a big deal out of it. I like big deals.
The Superman.
Should we tier list every stream we've done? Anyways, Spin Dash, as Spin Dash said, everyone, if you would get the stream a like, very much appreciate that. That helps everything out.
And also remember not to swear in the chat, or else you have to pay the super chat swear jar.
Yep. Super chat swear jar. So far, no one's had to pay anything to it, so we're doing good. Financially, not as good, but at least not getting demonetized. We've only had one stream demonetized so far, and it was because of the stupid Warner Brothers.
The Warner Brothers attacking you for liking a movie.
Yes.
Seems that you didn't start until November weekly.
Okay, so the official weekly start was November.
November 21st was when you because you were doing it infrequently.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm trying to find it.
Yeah, there would be unfrequent streams.
Between 7, yeah, because you did some gaming streams, then you would do Me Anythings once a year, and you started doing Ask Me Anythings once a month.
I'm gonna put this in my notes. November 21st.
Started November 21st. Whatever stream comes that week or the week before would be your anime. Cool.
I'm putting that down in my notes.
If we're going by Monday Night Raw rules, it's whichever Raw takes place whichever Raw takes place before the day or after the day is usually the anniversary.
Yeah. Whatever's the closest stream to that date, we'll do something fun. Thank you for the compliment, Miteki T, for my mom. For those unaware who may not have seen it, my mom and I did the Star Trek viewing guide for Star Trek Day on Friday, and the video turned out pretty great. It was a
I
ton of
responded to that
hours of
video.
editing. We talked way too long. There was an hour. There was like 2 hours of raw footage. About an hour and 30 minutes of it could be used, and I had to cut it down to get it under an hour.
If you ever
So-
open a Patreon, you should make that like a Patreon exclusive video.
I know. I specifically didn't put bloopers at the end because I kind of want to make like the blooper reel like a Patreon thing or something. There's some really great stuff. Also, Tycoon went up last week, and
Green guy with a sword.
Green Guy with a Sword. And then our shorts last week also included Green Lady with the Sword, Izzy from Dino Fury, and then the West Coast Avengers Marvel Legends box set.
There's no green guy with a sword in that team.
No, I mean, I looked for it, but like literally nobody on the Avengers West Coast were even green, let alone swords.
I thought are you thinking Black Knight was really part of that era? But no, I'm thinking of something else.
Black Knight was on Avengers, but not West Coast.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah. All right, let's run
I-
down. Let's run down everybody in the chat, and then I'll answer these two questions that I see popped up.
Roll call. All right, we have someone with TikTok, JoJo Stars, Spin Dash, SC4 Jason, True Hellfire Gaming, Zeltrex, Sir James, Ballon, Commerce 64, and Blue Baron.
Cool. Shout out to what was that long name? Shirt. I saw the comment. It vanished. Where is it? I think Sir James Bowen was saying that was first stream. So welcome. Okay.
Welcome.
Kyle Miller asks, "Hey, I was wondering if you could explain what the difference between the Forza switches, Deluxe Gacha, and Candy." So the biggest difference is that the Deluxe ones had a shiny metallic foil sticker on them. The Gachapon versions of the switches that weren't released in DX included two stickers, so you could have the shiny or the flat. And then the Gachapon and the Candy Toy switches had flat stickers. And then sometimes I think some of the Candy Toy ones also had light up variants, but that was the main difference, was the shininess of the sticker.
I'm so glad we don't have to deal with Candy Toy and DX. Candy Toy, Gachapon, DX gimmick stuff anymore nowadays.
You say that, and yet Gotchard cards.
Yeah, well, I mean, Gacha's
at least the cards are all
cardboard
consistently
card.
made, but like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then JoJo Star asked if IDW is still doing TMNT comments. Yes, they are.
Yes.
They just finished a huge event. They're still going strong at like 144 issues. So.
I did speak of 100.
And they have a second ongoing in the form of Ninja Turtles Saturday Morning Adventures. So.
And then Karai's getting a mini series later this year.
Yes,
I think.
one that's secret. It's the secret something of the Foot Clan. It's like a secret history of the Foot Clan sequel. So, you know what our first news topic is? Because it's a weekly thing at this point.
SAG.
Strikes. Warner Brothers Discovery says they'll take a hit of $300 million to $500 million to their 2023 earnings because they refuse to make a fair deal with actors and writers. Once again, reminding everybody that places like Discussing Film are your like non-biased news source that are going to tell you how it is with the strikes.
My favorite thing that came from this is people posting the water nose scene from Monsters Inc. of
yes,
I'll not pay any actors or writers so I don't or help me die or something like that. It was the best part because I think I don't remember that was confirmed real or fake, but was it like confirmed that Dave Zazzy lied to the investors?
Yeah, there was a thing. I haven't been able to get the hardcore like concrete sources, but apparently Zaslav said that they're only going to lose $100 million, but they're actually losing $300 to $500 million. So, yeah. Oh man, Fire Fury had a rough time getting a replacement. Oh, they're just gonna. Okay, so Fire Fury's getting a replacement Blue Centurion instead of just another hand. At least they got you a replacement.
At least.
Okay.
You want to hear crazy ass replements, man?
No, I want to talk about the SAG strikes first.
Okay, you will tell.
We got to follow this up. First. We'll do Wheel's story in a moment. The follow up to this, because this is the second part of this. So SAG. So the thing is that Warner Brothers says they're going to lose $300 to $500 million. The actual annual cost of the current new SAG contract is $47 million for Warner Brothers Discovery. So they're going to be losing 3 to 5 times, 6 to 10 times the amount of money that they could instead of just paying people. Like, if they pay people, it's only going to cost them $47 million. They're going to lose $300 to $500 million because they won't pay people. This is getting stupid. This is actually just dumb. I don't know.
Yeah, I love
Anybody good at business looks at this, and I can't imagine how you'd say that Warner Brothers is doing the right thing.
Say you're trying to make money and then lose money
at the same time.
Like, that doesn't...
And you're
Also, I
literally
appreciate
burning
this tweet from Sean Wine saying, just added losing $500 million to save $47 million to special skills section of my CEO resume. All right, Wheels, what's your exchange story before I bring up this next thing?
So the exchange story. So Hasbro is like so dumb. I don't know how people know about Pulse being dumb, but like ordered, remember the retro Megazords just because they were on sale. So I get the retro Mega Thunder Tiger Zord. Comes and shoulders like cracked. Like when I mean cracked, I mean like you can literally see it's like
cracked.
Plastic is like cracked on the seam where like I guess they were supposed to like merge the parts together. I'm like, it's cracked. The box was also banged up like to all hell, and I'm like, yo, replace this. It's still in stock in your website, so just send me a new one like you normally do. Like, no, we can't. You got to give us the UBC C4 number, whatever, on the leg. And
because
on the
for some reason,
box.
Customer service has zero access to anything in the Hasbro Pulse warehouse.
And we got to check to see if it's at this manufacturer's warehouse. Then, if not, we'll have to refund you. And I'm like, cool. Can I get my check? And they're like, yeah, we'll have to send it to you in check via mail. And I'm like, just refund me on my card. And they're like,
what?
They're like,
wait. They were like, we're gonna mail you a check.
A check. Yes. They're like, we're gonna mail you a check.
Now I'm glad I didn't go through the refund on my Pulse order.
Yeah. So they're like, let me, but. And then, like, I was like, yeah, I would like my money. But we actually rather just send you a replacement. And I go, no, I want my money. They sent me
Spin Dash said he also got a check. That took a couple months.
It took them, like, 4 months to send me the check.
Why is Hasbro customer service running things like they're a mail order catalog?
And this check was for, like, a $14 figure. Like, a $12 figure. And also... They sent me a replacement figure, and it was for, like, SPD A Squad Red. And I said, what? I didn't want this figure.
Yeah, they do that all the time. They do that all the time. They're like, here's your replacement, a completely different toy.
Yeah, and I'm like, so I get that the replacement is a completely different toy, but I said to them, I want the check. And then I was like, I don't have to send this figure back. Like, no, we screwed up when you said you wanted the money.
It's so weird, because...
They're so bad at this.
It's so weird because the Megazord figures were Walmart exclusives that had limited amount of stock on Pulse. And wasn't A Squad Red a exclusive? Was that Pulse exclusive? Or
that was
a
fan channel.
Fan channel. It's interesting that they. You think those would be more limited?
You think? No, I one time needed to replace. I had a problem with a figure, and the stream's dying for some reason. Come back. There you go. I had a problem with a figure, and I put in for like a replacement, and they were like, "Oh, we don't have that in stock, so we'll send you a replacement." And they sent me a Amazon exclusive Chewbacca and C-3PO 2-pack, and I was like,
"What?
Okay." I've just been sitting on it because I know I'm gonna flip it later for like big money. I already had one. I was like, I'm gonna flip this later. I
need a replacement of a $20 Marvel Legends. What's that? You gave me an Armada Optimus Prime? What?
For a time, they were sending like the super rare like Jason 2-pack to people who were complaining about Lightning Collection paint.
Oh, what the Comic-Con exclusive one?
So dumb. I don't get them. Spin Dash says buying a second item on its own and getting a refund check for the first is probably the easiest way to get what you need. I agree with that.
It's so funny because they're literally snail mailing. They're literally just snail mailing your money back. That's the way to doing it. Instead of just like refunding your like bank account, it's like, yeah, we'll just mail you the money back like it's snail mail. Wait.
Smith the Crow says, remember when Pixel Dan got not one but two D&D Hank figures with broken right hands, and he got two figures he didn't need? Yeah. We will talk about poor customer service later, but first of all, let's talk about strikes again. The WGA put out this letter, and it's 2 pages, like you guys can seek it out. I'm just going to give you the gist of it. The gist of it is that the WGA is like, look, I think we're having this problem of the AMPTP, who is the board that's representing the studios, is not negotiating with us. and that the only way forward we can see is if the studios break off of the AMPTP and make their own individual deals with us. Which, at this point, I think that's the only way to do this. Each studio's got to just make its own thing, you know? Like, I don't know. We'll have, hopefully, some kind of update next week. One of these studios is going to break, and then everybody's going to have to follow what they did.
So, can you recap? Because what is exactly the AMPDs? Because that was...
They're the Alliance of Motion Picture Producers and... Alliance of Motion Picture and Theater Producers. And they speak on the behalf of the studios. But apparently part of the problem with the negotiation, why the negotiation isn't happening, is because the AMPTP can't get all the studios to agree what their position is to negotiate against what the WGA and SAG's position is. Because, and somebody described it, and I thought this was kind of smart, is they said, Disney is in a different business than Netflix. Netflix is only streaming. Disney streaming is part of an empire that has theatrical, network TV, sports casting, and theme parks. Mm-hmm. You know, Disney's deal and Netflix's deal likely can't be the same deal because they're two different businesses. And that part of the problem with negotiating with the studios is the fact they can't just negotiate with the studios. They're having to negotiate through this negotiating board that can't get the studios to agree what they want. So I think, you know, the WGA is kind of pushing, and I think SAG agrees with this, and I agree with this, that the studios need to break up that alliance and then just make deals individually, you know.
I mean, what's the point of it now? That's kind of the thing.
The thing was that back in the day, you know, when you're doing stuff at the last strike, Netflix wasn't involved. You didn't have any companies that were only into streaming, like Netflix or Apple. Everybody was in the movie, TV, ancillary market model. You'd send your movie out to theaters, then you put it on DVD. You'd send your show out to TV, then it go to syndication, then maybe home video. Mm-hmm. Like, everybody was doing the same business. Now everybody's doing different things. So I think it's time for them to just kind of break up the AMPTP and say, goodbye, we're going to have to make our own deals because there's nothing happening. There's nothing happening with these strikes. Speaking of the strikes, I'm on transition game today, guys. There was a event, sort of a picket event happening. So outside the Paramount Pictures gate on what is Star Trek Day, September 8th, 2023 is Star Trek Day this year. A bunch of Star Trek actors, writers, producers all gathered together for the United We Trek event, where they formed the most massive picket line on the streets in front of and across the street from Paramount Pictures' main studio in LA, as well as a massive strike picket in front of Paramount's offices in New York City. And this was done to show that Star Trek is not something purely owned by a company that doesn't give respect to the franchise, but it is owned by the people who make it and the people who love it because they invited fans to come join the picket, and it made it a huge, major event. And there was a lot of press coverage as well. You can see even legendary cast members like George Takei was there, Walter Koenig, a bunch of people from Enterprise, Discovery, and Lower Deck. Like there was somebody from every show there, which is pretty great. And yes, there was popsicles someone was giving out for the picket, and they were all like themed after Star Trek stuff. Like there was a Klingon blood wine popsicle.
That's great. So
it was terrific. I loved seeing it. It was a terrific celebration of Star Trek. I also feel like my video I did with my mom about Star Trek on Friday was also a terrific celebration of Star Trek. Let's talk about what Paramount did
bad
instead.
Bad plug.
No. Let's talk about what Paramount did
that was
instead.
Shameful. No, I'm making the joke. I'm like, sound out. That was actually a shameful, not a shameful.
You think that was shameful. You think that was shameful. Star Trek, the animated series celebrates 50th anniversary, and so
show I never watched.
Paramount wanted to celebrate this thing called Star Trek The Animated Celebration. And they only talked about the animated series in Lower Decks because their dumbasses deleted Prodigy off their streaming service.
What's Prodigy? What are you talking about?
And
that's what Paramount wants you to think.
That's what Paramount wants you to think. What's Prodigy? So then they, on top of that, are doing these Star Trek very short treks, which are in the style of the animated series, and some of them feature returning actors like Jonathan Frakes. Some of them are like the Neelix is there. There's a Lower Decks one. It's kind of neat. Here's this poster they released on the Star Trek website that does have Prodigy characters, but anything else doesn't mention Prodigy. So here's the thing I gotta first say, is that the first short they released of these, I didn't think was very good. I think it was kind of bad. And not in the intentionally bad thing. They're non-canon, they're comedic-based, and the first one was about a captain on a starship that wasn't Kirk because he has a completely different hairstyle, saying that there's more than one way to skin a cat, and then there's a lady on the bridge from the anime series, Maress, who was a cat, taking offense to that. And then they just took that joke and then ran it for 3 minutes, and I think every time it happened, it got less funny as time went on. It was very weird. I hope the others are better, because it's Jonathan Frakes as Riker playing a trombone looks great. But those are going to be coming out weekly or whatever on the Star Trek YouTube channel. In addition to that, because again, I'm talking about how disgusting Star Trek Day was in a lot of ways, they had a 22-minute special that aired on CBS, Paramount Plus, and the YouTube that clearly was filmed before they got rid of Prodigy, because it talks about how there's a Star Trek for every age group, and then only talks about the adult Star Trek shows. It barely touches on the legacy stuff. It rushes through and then gets factual information wrong, and it's only about 22 minutes, and the best part about it is some Lower Decks actors reacting to clips, and Jackie Cox asking people on the street about Star Trek. And other than that, I was like, wow, way to celebrate Star Trek by ignoring like huge chunks of the franchise and then getting information wrong.
You know what's also, I feel like, and part of me is like digging this, because since animation is not part of is not under the strike rules, I feel like they're doing this to kind of. Oh no, they're probably
the animation focus for sure feels like they're trying to get around the strike, because the strike doesn't affect animation, right? Currently doesn't affect animation. It definitely feels
somehow,
like that.
Bowser's on strike, but yet he's still able to promote Tooniversity.
He can.
No, because
animation's not covered on the strikes.
That's what I'm saying. It literally explains why. Like, Eric Bowser's like.
Yeah, you see it, like the Lower Decks actors can talk about Lower Decks.
Yeah, any animation actor and writer can talk about it, because it's not part. Yeah, the animation is not part of the strike for some dumb reason.
And that's probably going to change as time goes on. Anyways, I just felt like
animation is lesser beings, and that's why Guillermo del Toro had to represent us as animation
exactly.
snobs.
Guillermo del Toro is going to solve that problem. So then, here's the thing: it's Star Trek Day, right? You think Playmates, who has an entire wave of Star Trek figures prototyped, could like reveal them?
What's a Playmate Star Trek?
No. Instead, we get a Kid Cudi collaboration, some Lower Decks pins, and then the coolest things, which are these Star Trek X06 Lower Decks statues with swappable parts. There's a Mariner coming with phaser and batleth, and a Boimler that you can have with a tricorder with a pad, or Screaming. I'm picking on Screaming as my go-to. And then a 2-pack of Badgie, both evil and good. And
are these the first Lower Decks figures?
These are the first Lower Decks figures, yeah. Outside of, I think the only other thing Lower Decks got was, like, pins. And there's a Badgie plush. So this is, like, their first figures. I totally ordered these. They're coming out next March. I think, was it Mariner and Boimler, 55 each. The Badgie 2-pack is 55 as well. So that was kind of cool. I was like, that was actually good. Those were shown at Comic-Con, but nobody had good pictures of them, so I'm really happy to see them get revealed like this. But they look terrific, and I'm totally going to get them. Muteki wanted me to go back to Mariner. Anyways, I think these are great.
There's a woman on screen. Just don't go back. Don't give him what he wants.
Someone
tried that. He tried that shit with me the other week on one of the streets. He was like, "Go back," and I'm like, bro, they're not even sexy.
Muteki, I'm moving on to Boimler and telling you, if you want more Mariner, go watch Lower Decks. Lower Decks is terrific, by the way. I love it.
On to you, Muteki.
Someone says, I wonder if they'll scale with Exo-6's 1/6 stuff. They're listed at 7 inches, so I don't think they will. But I'm wondering kind of, because they mentioned in an interview once that they're thinking about doing statues for some characters like the Borg Queen, as opposed to doing like articulated figures. And so these seem a little small, but they say 7-inch statue, but based on the anime proportions, they could end up being kind of big. Like I'll put.
They're noodle limbs, so like it's
Yeah.
kind of hard to judge scale.
Like I imagine if you want to do Mariner and Boimler in 1/6 scale, you do them from Strange New Worlds. But
why? But I love when
I will get these statues. Of course, I'm getting them. I hope they make Tendi and Rutherford next, which I imagine they will.
Star Trek merch on modern shows are like they're like a wild rare breed.
Yeah, that's why I was buying Mego so heavily for a while because it was.
It's like you see one, you had to quickly snatch it, or else it goes away forever.
Yep. So, anyways, I'm gonna get these. I don't know if I'm gonna get the badgies. I haven't decided on the badgies because I have the plush badgie and I feel really happy with that.
Get all the badgies. Get all the badges.
I know. I want the Hallmark ornament set, which are basically the same two poses, but they're like $25
army.
instead of $55.
There's an army of. That's an army.
I kind of want an army of badges. I won't lie to you guys.
Next thing you do is Star Trek. They're just gonna be surrounding you in the background.
They need to make a Star Trek badge that actually is badgy that you can wear to conventions.
Yeah, I know because like Fansets made a pin of badgie, but I want it to be a magnet back like my other badges. That'd be great. So yeah, I'm gonna get these. I will compare scale to my Janeway. And if 7 of 9 ever comes out, I've been waiting like a whole year. There's also there was Eagle Moss was doing this like giant Enterprise D that you could build in parts. That's continuing after Eagle Moss's bankruptcy.
What was I say? I thought Eagle Moss went out of business.
Yeah, they went out of business. D'Agostini took up the license to complete the model so that people can get it.
Okay.
Welcome, Infinite. And then Factory Entertainment's like, hey, you want an Enterprise G? Here's a studio scale model that's going to be 35 inches long, 16 inches wide, 11 inches tall, and cost several $1,000s. So, Muteki, go watch my video on the Janeway that I posted about a year ago. And then Shatner and Takei signed companion plaques for this model. Correction. The Shatner plaque will come with the Star Trek Motion Picture refit Enterprise model, and then the Takei one, of course, will come with the USS Excelsior model. And there are 5-figure price tags, so apparently you can place an order on Factory Entertainment's website. Let's look at it. Let's look at how much any of these are. Let's look at the Enterprise G just because it's new. It fancy. Let's look at it. This website's stalling. It's $15,000 with $500 down to reserve it. So, welcome, Common Jojo. Infinite says the Wave 14 Knuckles looks like a massive improvement. That's good to hear.
No, he's one of his arms is not permanently 90-degree elbow bent.
Good. Okay, so that was it for Trek news. Like I said, I feel like United We Trek did more to promote than Paramount did. I also am sitting here wondering why there's no Star Trek novels still until next February. It's ridiculous. Mutegi asks if the number of windows are accurate. I would hope so, because it is based on something that is seen on screen, so it should be accurate, especially for $1,500. Just like this Transformer that costs $35 doesn't have to be accurate to anything because it's a brand new design. It's Frankentron. I love this. Did anyone?
You missed the conversation me and Metal had over this entire line last Wednesday.
Oh, what was it?
Did you guys speculate on what the other ones could be?
Yes, we agreed with TJ Omega that if Mirage is not the Invisible Man, they failed.
Yes.
He said about how we wish Frankenstein was a legit Voyager because Frankenstein is big and chunky.
Honestly,
so
that new
he really works for the Impactor mold, though. I gotta tell you.
But we were like, he needs to be a Voyager, and then Muteki was like, "Yo, they need to make the Mummy be like, if the Mummy was like Leo Prime, where he's the Sphinx, and then the Mummy in robot form."
Yes!
That's actually a really cool idea.
I said they should take one of the fembots, turn their vehicle into a sarcophagus, and the body be the mummy, or somehow turn it into the Bride of Frankenstein.
I think, you gotta have a bride that looks like she goes with him. I want a Wolfman out of Weird Wolf. You know, like it's so on point, but like, come on, right?
I mean, it's either Werewolf or they heavily remold Tigertron or Cheetor to turn from Cheetah to a wolf.
Tiger
that could work.
You know what they could do for their Wolfman if they wanted to go really nuts because Universal owns both. remold. Yeah, take like Tigertron or Cheetor. Probably Cheetor, since I guess they're just doing deluxes. You know,
Luxus, yeah.
take Cheetor. Mold the Beast mode to be the werewolf from American Werewolf in London, and then his robot mode is based on Lon Chaney Wolfman.
Yeah.
That is, I don't know if they can, because that's merging two different like licenses, but it's still under Universal, and that would be the coolest thing ever.
I'm trying to. What would be the creature Black Lagoon? Because there's no sea spray yet.
We don't have any boats,
WFC.
guys. We don't have any boats to use.
Actually, wait, no. There has to be some kind of boat.
The most recent boat is Boater, and he's a Micromaster. Oh, Spin Dash says 13 Wolf in for good measure. Yeah, just give him a like how Dracula had the cloth cape. Just give him a basketball jersey.
Yeah.
I love the packaging art too. I love this line.
What would be the Van Helsing? What would be a good Van Helsing Transformer mold?
Van Helsing.
I was thinking Tarn for some reason, but they want to stick with deluxe. Like,
I'm trying to think in the deluxe mode.
I have an idea, but it's gonna sound stupid.
Go for it.
What is it?
For animated Prowl Legacy, based on Hugh Jackman's Van Helsing.
That'd be actually really cool.
Infinite wants the Munsters as Transformers. That would be cool too. That would be neat. I want the Addams Family as a combiner team.
Just remold the Minosaur.
Yeah, reroll Minosaur into the Addams Family.
Gomez is.
Well, you see, I want it to be Gomez, Morticia, Wednesday, and Pugsley as the limbs, and then Uncle Fester is the torso.
Oh no, Lurch.
Oh, Lurch. Wait, no. Yeah, Lurch has to be the torso.
Why would you forsake Godzilla?
No.
Why would you do this to Godzilla?
No. I got it better. Uncle Fester is the torso, and they combine into Lurch.
Yes.
And then his right hand is painted like Thing.
Yes.
Oh, Thing is like a mini. They somehow make a mini core class figure. Becomes a hand.
Yes.
That could be something. Core class Black Zarak hand mode. And then you reuse it for Thing. And you see, the thing is, and you gotta have it be able to plug on to Lurch's hands so you can make the joke that, you know, Ted Cassidy was Lurch and Thing.
So here's the thing: if in this hypothetical Universal Monster line, what will be the Titan class?
Titan class in Universal Monsters?
Yeah.
The Universal Globe logo with the plane.
Okay, that'd be fun. The Universal.
That's
the alt
the
mode.
Old RKO Tower.
And then it just turns into like a disfigured Carl Lamel.
Yeah, it's not Universal Monster, but like in terms of those old movies, I was thinking taking the Nemesis and turning into the Attack of the 50-Foot Woman.
That'd be good. You said Nemesis, and I realized that's a boat.
Yeah, it's a boat. The Titan class features the Black Lagoon.
I was gonna say, like, you could make the Titan class the Demeter as a playset, so it's like a boat.
Oh god, that'd be pretty funny.
Yeah, that would be great. Because you could put like you could just pretend like Emotep and Dracula are both on there.
Here's the question: Who made the Demeter? Was it still Universal?
Well, the Demeter's in the original Dracula book.
No, but who made the recent?
The recent movie, yeah, it was Universal. The Last Voyage of the Demeter.
I don't know why they thought that was a good idea.
No, I think the movie. Cool. I've heard the movie's great. It's just the title doesn't tell you that it's got Dracula in it.
I knew
people were like Dracula on a boat would have been a better title.
Even I knew because I knew it was a Dracula movie because of the Demeter.
Yeah, I knew it instantly because I know Dracula stuff.
Oh, remember when Dracula got killed on? Remember when Dracula got killed on the Demeter in one of the best freaking Dracula adaptations that wasn't like the book?
Yeah.
If anyone's asking, that's the Frank Langella where I think they hung him on the Demeter. That shit was like ironic. All
right, RKO Radio Tower, Paramount Mountain, 20th Century Studios Tower, the Giant 20 logo, and then the Warner Brothers Tower turns into the Animaniacs. But that's an easy one. Datboy Steve, did we talk about the Star Trek Picard Legacy set? No, because I think we talked about that back when it got announced. If you're talking about the Blu-ray set that has like all the Picard stuff in it. We talked about that back when it got announced a while back. I don't have it.
Here's
I'm
the
not
real
buying
question:
it.
when are we going to actually get? When are we actually going to get Dr. Frankenstein?
That's what I've been asking because,
and he's just like one of the Wreck-Gar motorcycles too.
I'm trying to.
He's
I
become
got
a monster.
that would be.
I was thinking
that'd be
Ratchet.
good. Ratchet would be fun too.
Ratchet, yeah.
Spin Dash says. Spin Dash says Shin America Studios universe.
Did Universal ever do Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde? I feel like they had to have tried.
They did.
Once,
Yeah,
right?
Universal, I think, did at least
which
one
one.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, but he wasn't part of the original lineup because Warner Brothers had the license at then.
I'm trying to remember which one they did, because there's one that I don't like that a lot of people say is the best one. Whichever is the one where the
his
guy
hands are
turns into
sideways because that's just how the impactor mold is.
Yeah, well, then because the classic old like for Frankenstein monster, he always just has his hands out like that.
We still do need Fortress Tiberius. I will say too, speaking of Dr. Frankenstein, the NECA Ninja Turtles Universal Monsters line needs a Dr. Frankenstein, and it better be Donatello. He should be our second Donatello.
I forget. Is Phantom of the Opera usually included in the
Yes.
Universal Monster Crew?
Yes,
So,
and
Yes, it
no,
is. No, it is.
They,
But specifically the Lon Chaney one. Either the Lon Chaney one or the Clive Rebel one. Those are the two that get included. But usually companies go for Lon Chaney.
This is the problem. They will say that they are, but then sometimes Universal will pretend they don't.
Well, the thing is if we're going off of off
on
NECA's license, they did a Phantom of the Opera Lon Chaney, and they did a Casey Jones that took inspiration from the Clive Rebel one. And if we're going off of Universal themselves, the Universal Movie Monsters box set, that 30 movie collection I have, has the Clive Rebel one, but not the Lon Chaney, because the Lon Chaney is public domain.
I know, it's nuts.
So what would be a good mold for Phantom of the Opera then?
You gotta have something that can hold a really cool looking face.
I mean, if only the Tarn figure can take off his mask, that'd be a perfect.
That'd be good. Rise of the Beast Scourge.
Oh, that's actually.
I'm looking at his head shape, and I'm like, his neck. I'm like, ooh, you could do something with that. The differences between Herman Munster and Frankenstein is that Herman Munster is just a casual dude that went and had a family, and Frankenstein doesn't have any form of intelligence. Design-wise, they're very similar. But that's because all the monsters are based on the Universal monsters.
Let's say.
Yeah. All right, so I love Frankenstein, Tron, but it's time to move on. Tarn is Leatherface. That's a good one. I like that one. Tarn is Leatherface.
Yeah, that could work. I mean, that's more like your slasher horror villains. They would do that, but like that's a good one.
That's pretty good.
The creature could also be technically used off of the snap. What do you call them?
Skull Cruncher.
Skull Cruncher. Yeah, that could be a good one too. Okay, so I don't have visuals for this one. So we're just gonna look at this toy here. So the next bit of toy news was kind of strange. This is gonna be bizarre to talk about, but Super7 did an interview with the Foosh recently, which you can go find on the Foosh's channel. Lots of great details and stuff. You follow Super7, but the big thing is that they confirmed that they're doing 2003 Ninja Turtles next year. Or at least putting up for pre-order next year, and then they'll ship whenever they can after. Here's the thing. Apparently, they announced this at PowerCon, and I could not find a single person on Twitter, Reddit, Instagram, Facebook, or anything. I couldn't find anything about this being announced at PowerCon, but apparently they had a panel at PowerCon and said what their next 4 waves were, and they said that 2003 was going to be included.
Funny story about PowerCon. No, people went, but no one actually covered it.
Yeah, I saw coverage of the Mondo stuff. I saw pictures from all the booths. I did not see anything about what Super7 said. And so they just kind of casually brought up in this interview, and it took me like a minute to process what they were saying because I was like, I did not hear anything about this. But the plan is we don't know what the figures are, but the plan is that the next wave of Turtles Ultimates will be vintage based. The next wave after that, 2003, then vintage, then 2003, and then it's going to be alternating onward.
Oh man, I wish NECA did that because that's actually a good. You please both audiences for that.
You please both audiences. NECA seems like they're doing everything to avoid the Red Sky seasons, so it's going to be a while before NECA touches them, I think. But Super 7 was like, we're doing it. And the reason why, and they said this, and I thought this was smart, is they said, we're starting to run out of vintage figures that are interesting enough to upgrade to a collector scale.
Does anyone want Farmer Mike?
Exactly. They also said they're going to be inserting more new variants of characters into waves, so like how they did Ninja April, but she's not exactly like the April variant from the 80s storyline.
Or technically Karai. You want to get technical?
Technically Karai. They wanted to start mixing it up where you're still getting like vintage throwbacks, but you're also going to get newish versions kind of putting in. And as part of that, but they did say they're going to keep 2003 separate from vintage, because now that they're doing these bonus accessory packs, you order them all from their website, so they're going to keep separating. So they want to keep separating them. So it's not going to be like that one Thundercats wave where it's half toy, half show. They're going to stop doing that. They're going to have it like show, toy, with Turtles is going to be vintage, 2003 vintage. So
JoJo Star, the Red Sky seasons are the last 3 seasons of the 87 Turtles show.
Yes, 8, 9, and 10.
It's called Red Skies
because
some shit happened.
Yeah,
it's called Red Skies because the sky is red in all of them for some reason.
A crisis event is happening.
Yeah.
But no, this is. I mean, hey, this is gonna be my first ever time buying something Super 7. They finally grabbed me. They finally grabbed me.
And then they'll betray you like they betrayed me.
Yeah, no, yeah, they're gonna betray me eventually. But like, I'm gonna take it in for the first wave at least.
Here's the thing about Super 7. You know, you get in knowing that there is a risk that it's all gonna fall apart quick, but you enjoy it while it's there. You know,
because here's the thing.
Ain't nobody else doing it.
Here's the thing: it's actually they're doing toys of actual like franchise that's actually successful.
Yep.
Instead of dying.
They have said that like their most successful lines are TMNT, Thundercats, and Silverhawks. Like Silverhawks has been doing well apparently. That being said, I gotta tell you guys a funny anecdote from that interview was that, and I was saying that like, you know, remember I said like the toy color, or they were doing the chromed out figures for Silverhawks. I was like, so many people are going to be loud about this, but then not actually buy them. And it was true. Like Brian Flynn was saying, the sales on the toy color Silverhawks was a lot lower than they expected, and they're just going to wrap out the main Silverhawks and call it a day. They're not going to do the whole vintage line because, congratulations for finishing homework. But I was like, wow, I kind of called it, that people were just going to be really loud about it. But when it came to actually putting their money down,
too, when we did the interview, when we talked about that one butthurt guy.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing too, is I think that's when it came down to it, people really just don't want to spend the money.
I think what it is with Super 7 and why those lines specifically do better than a lot of others is because I think there's no other alternate figures to get.
Yeah.
Power Rangers, you get Lightning Collective. G.I. Joe, you got Classified.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff like that. There's a lot of alternatives that are, even though if those figures are technically not as good as Super 7 ones, their price are more affordable.
Yep.
For example. But TMNT, well, there is the NECA stuff. That specifically, it's the cartoon and Mirage.
There's no overlap, right? Like Super 7 stuff is doing Playmates updates and stuff in that Playmates style, which is not anything anyone else is doing. At least it's 7 inches, you know?
Yeah, there's no other Thundercats line. There's no other Silverhawk line. Essentially adding 10-3, now you fully grab it, because there's so many 10-3 fans that will go like, NECA, please.
They finally grabbed. That Super 7 is going to like, I don't know if they'll be the first to come out because of how long it takes, but they're going to be the first ones. The first ones grabbing it. Let's see. Spin Dash says, where did her Silverhawk Sports start watching your videos? No, because that show was even obscure back in the 80s. It was a syndication-only series. It was one season, and most people forgot about it because they didn't try to bring it back. So obscure
that people always ask me, Wheels, why don't you know about Silverhawks? I'm like, bro, it was never syndicated.
It never did. It didn't do the rerun. It didn't do the rerun gambit that the Thundercats did. Thundercats got rerun a lot, but Silverhawks didn't.
I never heard of Silverhawk because my dad just happened to be a big nerd and buy the tapes.
Yeah. I know Silverhawks because went back in the Yeo YouTube days. I just haven't found the intro.
I still have my
other 80s cartoon intros.
I only found out about Silverhawks when they showed up. They showed up in that Thundercats 2011 episode on that one screen.
So I knew about them because there was like DVDs or VHS releases in like Walmart before Thundercats 2011.
Yeah.
And also because I saw like the opening on YouTube. My uncle was like, "Yo, you never heard of Silverhawks?" I'm like, "Bro, I never knew of He-Man until 2000X series. So what the heck are you talking about?"
Yeah, I mean, it's so bad.
It's funny how He-Man got syndicated though and rerun in certain areas, but like,
well, it's because they were trying to revive He-Man. Nobody was trying to revive Silverhawks.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like, the reason why Thundercats and He-Man keep getting revived because they were successful.
Yep.
That's why they That's why people still remember. And that's why they keep trying to bring them back for new audiences. Silverhawk wasn't even that popular back in the day, so that's why there's no newer cartoon or such for
that
them.
reminds me that my I guess
yeah,
I got lucky with my dad, didn't I? Sound up.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm growing up remembering that crap.
I mean, it is kind of baffling that it took into Super 7 to finally re-release. But yeah, it is kind of baffling Super 7 that had to finally do the 10-Tree Turtles because Playmates for some reason, unless they just lost the molds, they have never because they haven't even done their
reissue gambit on those.
They re-released the 2012 figures before they did the 10-Tree Turtles. Yeah. And I'm like, unless you lost the molds, like the 2007 movie, there's no excuse why you haven't re-released them. This is for the 20th anniversary, but they sure do love re-releasing those awful Mirage molds all the time.
Yeah, Infinite says we need update 2003 He-Man. I would love it if we could get that like super detailed look that those toys have.
I know, right?
Because we've gotten 2002 He-Man stuff in Classics and Origins, but they're taking that design, bringing it down to what matches that style. I would love something that's like as super detailed as those were, but just like blown up.
Yeah, because to me, the 10X line is super my favorite Masters line because of the Four Horsemen's sculpting and detail. Like I like Classics, I like Masterverse and the Origins, but like nothing would beat for me those fantastic detailing on the 2000X figures.
Especially if we could get like articulated versions of the ones that only came out as statues too.
Yeah, like to me, like even though they feel like NECA, like quality art figures, like from NECA. Well, I know which were that's where the action figures, but like even the basic figures were nicely detailed and everything like that. So
I have a bunch of them. They're really good. They're like some of the best figures, honestly.
I wanted to try to collect that one, but I can never find it in like retro stores.
I want to see it where you can have articulation as opposed to the gimmicks. Yeah. Muteki mentioned the Leo Generation pack, that like big 8-pack of Leos. They had the 2003 in there.
Yeah. So that means that they still have the mold somewhere, at least for that pack.
Because that pack didn't have 2007, but it had Next Mutation.
Yeah, because they confirmed in the Comic-Con that the 2007 molds were destroyed in the China factory.
Smith the Cross discovered Silverhawks via YouTube video about 80s intros. Let's see. JoJo Star, if you're looking for the IDW Ninja Turtles hardcovers, you have to pay at least $30 to $40 because they have a cover price of $60. They're really high quality. They are probably cheaper though in the long run than the individual like paperback volumes, but
Amazon usually has them on sale a lot of times for like only $30.
And try to pay attention for sales because like sometimes Target or Amazon will run a buy two get one free on books, and then the other will price compare. And you could that's how I caught up on mine, is I got them on buy two get one free. And JoJo Star also says, "Wonder if Rise of the TMNT will get more physical releases." I hope we get a complete series set on disc.
They only just had the volume sets still.
The volume sets are only nine episodes. Yeah.
And I mean, I know IDW released a trade of their comic series for Rise, so hopefully that means more Rise stuff is coming.
And that trade sold out and got really hard to find. Like it was like almost impossible to get for like a month.
Will said, "Hey Sam, if I got to Dark Crisis in my Dark Crisis event read so far, Justice League versus Legion superheroes, so the worst by
Dark
far.
Crisis is a whole lot of mid stuff, but then there's Justice League versus Legion, which is so bad. So, all right, moving on. I don't have a good transition for this one because we just kind of like, tangent off. Commodore Black Sun, if you want the Black Sun driver but didn't want to spend $500 on the CSM, you can spend $100 on the deluxe.
And manually move the parts yourself.
Yep. So it's essentially, I think they even said it was the same mold cast. It's all plastic this time. It's
No
manual
steam.
moving parts. Yeah, that's not pretty bad. It's got lights in it. I think it's got sounds, and it's got a deluxe style belt to it as opposed to a CSM style one.
I kind of hate that.
I really don't know why it doesn't just have a CSM belt. It's 9,900 yen. Releases in February. I just wanted to bring attention to that because I thought it was neat that Bandai was going back and doing this, but why didn't they do that first and then do the CSM or whatever? I don't know.
I always have problem with Bandai's pre and Bandai only stuff where they only include the DX size belts. Like, come on,
it's actually idiotic.
Most people who are buying from P-Bandai are adults. Why do you keep including the kid only size belts?
Right,
in them?
Especially for Black Sun. Kids don't need that.
Kids can't watch that show.
Spin Dash says they left the BGM button from the mold, even though there's no BGM function.
Whoops.
Yep. Infinite says, I really wish Toy Company make Megas XLR figures. Can't happen.
Yeah,
that show was a tax write-off. Warner Brothers cannot make money from it. And that was not even a Zaslav tax write-off. That was an old Cartoon Network tax write-off. Same thing with Symbiotic Titan. You can't make merch on those because it's unlicensable because they were done as tax write-off. Beware the Batman was the same way. Some of those shows they took
Batman.
Beware the Batman, you can still, I think the discs were still in print.
No, there were still toys. There was toys made during the show's run, at least.
Well, Beware the Batman only had one figure actually released, which was
there was
in Batman Unlimited. There was a Beware the Batman.
there was some Happy Meals. So
there was some Happy Meal stuff. No, so the thing is that Symbiotic Titan is on HBO Max. Beware the Batman has streamed before, and the discs are still out there. There is tax write-off. You cannot use this show anywhere, or tax write-off. You cannot market or merchandise the show. There's like 2 or 3 different ways to do it. So the thing is that like Megas XLR, you can still buy it digitally. The show itself is fine, but like essentially, it was done as a tax write-off to say we can't make any money from this besides the show itself. Like, and so they legally you can't make merchandise based on those shows. So
crazy.
Yeah, it's stupid. Like corporations are stupid and have been stupid for a very long time. That's the moral of the story.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of corporations that aren't stupid and finally figured out how to get money, complete style gigantic Garo Ken.
Oh man!
Didn't I say that like if they were going to do complete style gigantic that I'd actually buy it'd have to be something from Garo?
Yep.
And I listened yet again.
Oh man! If it wasn't for being
Maybe
much,
you should just become a liar, Soundout. Don't keep your word.
I look. This isn't even the product image, and I already want it. Okay, because I can imagine it in my brain. It's probably going to get revealed at next month's Naruto World event. I hope it gets U.S. distribution because I don't want to ship this thing as an import.
God, yeah.
If you want to order it with sight unseen, Toku Electables has the Chinese release up for $350.
Yeah, no.
They can undo the tax write-off. They just have to pay back to the government the money they got back from the write-off.
Which they don't want to do.
Yeah, exactly. And now the stream's lagging.
Of course, when we talk about Garo.
Boom. Okay, we're back. Someone brought up a good point. When is the Naruto top 99 figure supposed to come up for pre-order? I have no idea. I don't know what the hell happened to that. I imagine they're just taking a while to develop it.
So Santa, are you gonna get this?
I want it. It comes down to a matter of price. Absolutely. It's not a space thing because I don't even care about space things. I have a Batmobile sitting on the floor over here. I don't. That's obviously not something I take into consideration.
Wait, you can just hang on the wall. Just hang on the wall.
I could just carry it on my back in videos now. You know.
I mean, you had we had the Zazaba ring. We gained the Garo Ken. All we're missing is the Saijima code.
I want the code. I also the untransformed version of the Garo Ken because I think this is this is going to be the transformed one. I do want this, and I will figure out how to get it. And if you guys see me say, "Hey, here's a Patreon," know the reason why it's going up at that time.
We tried that; it didn't work for Hero Club, so don't expect.
We'll see. I have not gotten God King Oger. I don't know if I can. I really want to just buy it all at once and just review the whole thing. But
Santa, if you do get this thing, you know what the intro of the video has to be. You do review this,
where there's light. There is darkness, shadow
Yeah,
lurch,
yeah,
fear
you
reigns
need,
by
yeah,
the
you
blade
need,
of
you
night.
just
That
need,
mankind was given hope. Yeah, I know. I know what the intro is
yeah,
gonna be. I already planned
you
it
need
out.
to be the dog. So, yeah, it needs to be the like dogs intro, where it's in night and you just swing the sword around and
Yeah,
then
and
like
I can have my
shines on you.
talking Zarubo fight with it because I got talking Zarubo. Garo's great. It's weird that it's the first Garo merch we've gotten since the franchise went sleepy sleep. So
I mean, what are things? I guess they could make the lighter also. Since there's
they've
other
done that
wanting-
before a
I've
few
been wanting the
times.
lighter.
I've
been
I
wanting a new
imagine
version that-
the lighter would come through Proplica like the Zaruba did, but the talking Zaruba didn't sell well, which is why I don't think they went and made the lighter right away.
I could really use the lighter right now. I really could.
All I'm hoping is, hey, man, can you re-release those action figures, please?
I know, seriously. I also want more of them. Where's my Dan?
I would love if they could remake them right and put them on P Bandai USA. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't have to just pay
were...
like $120 from like Tokusatsu.
You could pay like $100 from P
early.
Bandai.
Exactly, because the markup is. This is the thing. While I like Tokusatsu for like having them when we had them, or when they have stuff that P Bandai America won't get. The biggest problem usually is depending on how much is Tokusatsu going to mark it up, because sometimes it's reasonable and then sometimes it's just bullshit.
Also,
okay?
because
it's bullshit.
Oh my god, shipping is a nightmare these days.
I mean, I don't want to know the shipping of this giant sword.
Like the shipping on God King Odra is more than the price of the items. So yeah.
Because if this is like gonna be like prop accurate size, this is a big sword. It's gonna be probably bigger than the Titan.
It's got to be bigger than the
sword.
Titan. It doesn't collapse. The Titan collapses.
Yeah, this is the Garo Ken is a big sword.
Yep. Spin Dash brings a good point. The yen exchange fluctuations too are also a factor.
Bonus props for the Garo Ken. They made it like super heavy, in the show lore.
That'd be funny if it was just like
You're just gonna be poor. You're just gonna be poor. Oh no, when am I blanking the butler's name? It's been a bit since Garo.
Goza.
Goza, you'd be like Goza in the final episode. Yeah, Gonzo, you're gonna be like Gonzo in the final episode, just dragging that sword around and swinging it.
Yeah, it should be pretty big. It's all comes down to price. It all comes down to price. You know what's not a bad price for a very large item? Haslab Giant-Man. This actually kind of surprised me in the sense that the Marvel Legends team learned their lesson so well from last year's failure.
The guy who actually works at Marvel, he did not learn his lesson.
Yeah. But the thing is that last year's Haslab, for those that were not around for that, was the Ghost Rider Engine of Vengeance. It was a $350 car that came with a Ghost Rider, and then there was 3 tier unlocks that have nothing to do with the main character. Not a great campaign. It was overpriced for a lot of people. They said, all right, this time, no pack-in figures, no figures behind tiers. It is $200. You get a 24-inch tall Giant Man. It's the campaign is nothing more than just, do you want big Giant Man, yes or no?
And you're in the tier of just extra accessories.
Yep.
That's it.
And it's currently at 4,208 backers out of 10,000 needed. I think it's totally going to fund. I'm totally in. He is a little bit shorter than Galactus, so he's 24, Sentinel's 26, Galactus 28. So
inflation.
It also, not just inflation, but the fact that Giant Man shouldn't be as big as Galactus. You gotta cap him out at some point. He's gonna have 91 points of articulation, super detailed down to toe joints. Everything will be ratcheted.
Fully posable fingers.
Fully posable fingers. He will have swapping faceplates. He includes 3 faces in the base package. There he is next to Cap.
Which let's talk about last year's Haslab as I post a link to a great clip of a interview we did.
There you go.
I'm very curious how because they fully molded like a Hank face onto the faces. So is it gonna be is it like a rubber mask scenario?
Yes, they said that it's going to be around the eyes. It'll be a bit of a rubber kind of. It'll be kind of a rubber-like material, and then you'll be able to. We'll go through or flipping through the pictures here, and then you'll be able to swap the faces. They'll just squeeze up in there.
But only just the eye area, not the rest of the head. I'm assuming. Okay, that's good because it's like I hope that.
It's just the eye area because the mouth is all exposed. Someone got ads on streams. I didn't
Just
approve this
ads on
YouTube.
streams.
Oh no, you know, remember there was a post about that.
I thought I turned it off though. They said you could turn it off, and I turned it off, but I guess I didn't. I don't like my streams getting ad breaks, guys. I don't like this. I'm fixing this right now. Types of ads. Yeah, I turned off automatically plays mid rolls. That should not be happening. You should only be getting an ad when you start the stream. Sure, YouTube. So I like this because it's like I said, it's just straightforward. It's like, you want a giant man, here you go. I would love to see this costume, like Smith the Crow mentioned, this costume in a normal sized figure, and they could just stick that in a wave. They don't have to do anything fancy with it. I think lock it behind this would kind of suck.
And again, it's such a smart move not to have any figures locked behind tears.
The difference between Ant-Man and Giant Man is that they call him Giant Man because at the time that this costume debuted, Hank could only grow. He couldn't shrink anymore. Hank Pym's history with the Pym particles is crazy. He starts only be able to shrink. Then he can only grow. Then he can shrink and grow. But then that gives him cancer. So then he's only going to shrink and grow weapons. And then he beats his wife.
And then he beats his wife.
And then he goes and becomes Yellow Jacket. And then he becomes Hank Pym. It's just Dr. Hank Pym. Then he goes back to being Ant-Man.
No.
Then he gives it up. And then Scott Lang's Ant-Man. But then Scott Lang never learns how to grow. He only shrinks. And then the MCU's like, you know what? Scott Lang can grow. Why not? And, you know, it's great. I like, that's an MCU change I don't mind, is that people can just grow.
That's like funny. So last week, me and Ben were having a comics discussion, and I was telling him about how the Hank Pym, like the Hank Pym incident of the slapping thing. People forgive Peter for all of his instances where he's accidentally gone and swung at Mary Jane because if he's too emotional, his spider sense will trigger if someone tries to just give him a hug.
Oh, you mean like the time that Spider-Man murdered a woman because he thought it was Wolverine?
That too.
I love that.
That's gonna be secret revelation at the finale.
I just got a mid-roll too now.
Okay, I'd have it off.
Spirit of Halloween.
I haven't, but
you know what? You know what it is? It's actually whoever the AdSense ad I think is programming that they'll try to.
What that was. I thought it was.
I better be getting paid. I better be getting paid for this because look,
they're doing the Twitch thing now. They're doing the Twitch thing.
If I go here, live ad settings, I do not have automatically placed mid rolls checked.
I haven't got that, but I have YouTube Premium, so that makes I don't get ads in general. So I think
it's YouTube's new system screwing up again. Okay, I don't like that. I like control. Thank you, YouTube.
Yeah, because if I remember right, the new YouTube thing was they don't let you control what ads you get.
Right.
I think it was like
Well, the thing is, they let you control the mid rolls, but not the post and pre rolls. And like it's basically you can't turn off unskippable ads for a pre-roll or a post-roll. I don't like that, but I'll deal with it. I don't like them random sticking ads in the middle of the stream because
ads on my Twitch.
Like I'm trying to tell a story here, and I'm trying to share news. If you guys are getting stuck behind an ad for 15 to 30 seconds, that breaks the flow and you miss stuff. I don't like that.
Exactly.
And also, they better be paying me for it if they're going to be doing that. Where's my favorite photo here? Oh, I love this photo here they took.
It's kind of reminding me of Beer Baron. I'll get you, Beer Baron.
I like this shot of Giant Man holding Ultron's head and just giving him a thumbs up. I love that.
Yeah, I love these photos. I love these.
Sound out. Here's a funny story though. Supposedly, the infamous Hank Pym, where it all started, was actually someone drew it more graphic than it was, and editorial was like, "No, change it!" And like, it already went out to print. And then like another writer comes in a week later. What if we since Marvel's so grounded, what if we actually do talk about the pros and cons of abuse at home? And everyone was like, okay, he's got a way out. He's got us an exit strategy. And that's why Hank Pym is everyone's favorite violence guy.
Yep. I know the stream's lagging, guys, and I'm trying to fix it, but I've literally tried everything. And yes, that grin is pretty accurate to the art at the time.
Exactly. It's so accurate to him beating his wife.
Here's the tiers: zombie face or Skrull head.
That's it.
That's it. I don't need either of those. I'm not going to display them with either of those. I already have a Skrull Giant Man. It's from the Marvel Universe line. But
I'm so glad they didn't lock like a new Wasp because Wasp
No
desperately
new
needs a
Wasp
new
or anything. Like I don't care. You know, you can do all that stuff normal. Wasp, anybody related to Ant-Man is in the MCU. They're prominent enough. You can just make them. You don't have to do this. You know. This looks great though. I'm like, yeah, give it. I'm in. You know. At this point, I'm just like, which payment method am I using? That's it. LPH, you haven't read Identity Crisis, have you? It's so all right. We've been talking about stuff. We got a laggy stream. I was gonna move this segment closer to another
That's the
segment.
spirit of Halloween.
But I think these 2 pages are causing the lag, so let's try it. Disney Movie Club has a new Blu-ray 20th anniversary edition of Holes coming out. And yes, it's fun to say that because I can't get in trouble for saying holes. Anyway, so if you want this movie, it's coming out Disney Movie Club exclusive. And then also The Sandlot is getting a 30th anniversary Blu-ray edition. One of those was Disney, and then this one's a Fox acquisition. But there's new things. Yeah, you got Holes and Sandlot. I don't think I'm buying either of those. I just wanted to be informative.
Only one good movie here, and we know it's The Sandlot.
Yeah, I remember loving The Sandlot. I never watched Holes as a kid, but I remember loving
My
Sandlot.
school made me watch Holes a lot. Like, we watched it like 3 or 4 times.
I remember reading Holes. I remember reading Holes and enjoying the book, and then I was like, I ain't watching the movie.
Yeah, we did this thing in school. Like, it happened like 2 or 3 times where we read the book, then watched the movie.
Well, then one question: what, do you watch Holes at school because it's easier for a book report, or one of those lazy school's about to be over for like holiday or vacation?
First time it was the book report. Second time it was lazy. Third time was for a book club I was a part of, and then the 4th time was also because of a lazy teacher thing. All my history teachers in high school were football coaches. They did not want to teach history.
Oh, my ninth grade history teacher was one. But then I got put in honors history.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
After that,
our Holes incident was we had to read it for regular requirements because this is before the movie came out. So it was seen as like a really good book for kids because it was actually a bestseller at the time for just like what it was doing. We had to do it for that, and the movie came out like and was being in production. We read at the beginning of the year, so by I think the time the movie came out, it was like the end of the year, so that like towards the end of the school year.
So just everyone, if anybody knows OBS terms, it's just flashing from green to yellow to orange to red to red to green to yellow
exactly
to orange to red,
and
I'm just like, please stop.
It does that to me even with the stable wired connection, and I'm like, what is OBS doing?
You gotta love it.
I don't know. It's been laggy. I want to say more things with the word holes, but I can't think of anything good.
So do you want to know why I don't like the live action Holes?
Is it Shia LaBeouf?
I hated Shia LaBeouf. I as a kid I hated Shia LaBeouf only because I knew him as the
Even Stevens.
Should I say this? The Even Stevens, weirdly reeing kid. Rees a lot in that show. Screams and rees a lot in that show.
All right, video is lagging, but audio is fine. Okay. Infinite's gonna put a Dragon Shield on Dino Thunder Black, and that sounds awesome. All right, guys. We may not be able to have a consistent stream, but we can certainly shout about the Shout Factory November release. That was a bad transition. I'm losing my touch. I'm going to turn my video off and just run the screen share and see what happens. Maybe that's the trick, because this is getting bad. This is like the worst it's been, and I don't have anything that should be interrupting it.
It's Disney's fault.
It's Disney's fault. All right, so Shout is releasing Silver Bullet, Chopper, Tales from the Dark Side, the movie, Death Wish, a second Shining Chiba collection, Farscape, Surviving the Game, and a Police Academy collection, as well as Fargo and Headcount. For some reason, Headcount is only a DVD. I don't know why they're still making DVDs, but whatever. So Shout is also Shout Studios now, or whatever. So anyways, I don't have any, like, stake in most of these games, but the Shining Chiba Collection Volume 2 contains Defensive Power of Aikido, 13 Steps of Maki, Karate Warriors, Great Okinawa Yakuza War, Karate for Life, Golgo 13 Assignment Kowloon, which is the second Golgo 13 live-action film, and the Okinawa War of 10 Years. So if you're Gogol 13 collecting live-action Sonny Chiba films, you got to get this set as well as Discotek's release of the first movie. So that's just weird and bizarre and stuff. So, what? I'm supposed to do? Wait, why would I do a review on Death Wish? I don't want to review that. That sounds awful. That sounds horrifying. I don't know if it's good or not, but it sounds horrifying. And of course, the Police Academy collection also contains all of the Police Academy movies, all 7 of them in one Blu-ray set. And then here's some really nice big art of Sonny Chiba. Yeah, pretty good set. Farscape getting a complete set is cool because it's an anniversary edition. And I don't know, is that a DVD or a Blu-ray? It's a Blu-ray. Farscape is a Blu-ray. So, see, the thing is, Muteki, I don't have a Death Wish to watch Death Wish. Anybody's got any thoughts on this, or we're going to move on?
Really cool. I mean, it's really cool they're doing this.
It's nice to see this many discs come out from one company in a single month. We are pumping. We are pumping with discs. For example, Universal's like here has some more Hitchcock. The Hitchcock Collection Volume 3 4K contains Rope, The Man Who Knew Too Much, Torn Curtain, Topaz, and Frenzy. And if you don't want the box set, all of them will be available in individual releases as well. This is hitting in November as well, too. October 31st. They're putting it out on Halloween. First 2 sets were great. I imagine this one will be as well. Okay, yeah, the stream's starting to catch up now that I don't have the video running. All right, guys. Shin Ultraman time.
Again?
Again. Thanks to Jambalaya. Shout out to Jambalaya23 on the Discord for sharing this. All right. Yeah, Disney is pumping out holes. It's their 5th release. All right. So, Billy Bob Blur's Burner on Blu-ray.com forums said, I just want to make this account to report my follow Ultraman fans because my 3rd edition replacement disc for Shin Ultraman arrived in the mail. I do not feel like recapping the Shin Ultraman saga for everybody. Go watch my video. That's it. If you don't know by now, too bad. We're moving on.
They're running gag. They're running gag at this point on the channel.
Running back at this point. Okay. So, I can confirm there are now separate subtitle and dub title options. We'll get there in a moment. And translation for the on-screen text appears to be burned in, so if you want to watch whichever dub without captions, you have the on-screen text burned in. As for the disc itself, compared to the first effective disc, the word subtitled is now printed under the Shin Ultraman logo on the disc. Only difference I spotted is absolutely scummy on Cleopatra's part that after fixing the subs, presumably fixed at least, again, I haven't watched the disc in full, just quickly checking out the opening scene, they're forced people who received the first botch attempt to pay up and buy again. I ain't buying it again. Also, what the hell is this menu? I put it up on stream. Their new menu, their solution, their quote-unquote solution to the problem of the subtitles versus dub titles thing is instead of having, like, an English dub tied to English closed captioning and a Japanese version with English subtitles, you have the options of play movie with English subtitles from original Japanese dialogue with Japanese 5.1 audio, English 5.1 audio, or English stereo. You can also watch it with English subtitles from English dub with Japanese 5.1 audio, English 5.1 audio, and English stereo. Or subtitles off with Japanese 5.1 audio, English 5.1 audio, and English stereo. Guys, this is not a Blu-ray, okay? And I said this about it the first time. I don't think it came across as well. It's not really a Blu-ray because they kept loading things in individual menus as a DVD. And this is not just they don't know what they're doing with foreign language material. They don't know what they're doing, period. I've never seen a menu like this. This is ridiculous.
I've never seen a menu. It
Oh, everybody's getting an ad. Okay. All right. If everyone's on ad, I'm just going to stop talking for 30 seconds. It's not over, guys. I just turned my video off to keep the stream running. This is ad break. I'm gonna go click the checkbox and then click it back off again. Apparently YouTube didn't get it.
Yeah, for the people watching the pre-stream, must be really confused after you watch the post-stream.
Oh my god, yeah, people. All right, we back after.
Oh, super chat for LPH.
Thank you, LPH. This is the first super chat from LPH, $2. Thank you for, thank you, LPH. LPH just said, "Damn it, YouTube," in all caps, and I appreciate that so much. The stream force ended on TV's YouTube app. What the? Oh my god. Toyota Tacoma says my ad ended a little bit ago. All right, everyone back. I'm so sorry.
YouTube.
God dang it. Let's go back to my camera. I'm so frustrated right now because I'm having to talk about the Shin Ultraman crap. And
This is good fashion. They're hacking. They're hacking your YouTube. They're
every
hacking.
time I complain about companies, guys, it just doesn't want to work. Back to the comically stupid menu. Like, what the hell is this, guys? Like, any company, any I'm just convinced they're not even just incompetent when it comes to releasing Japanese stuff. They're just incompetent, period. And you know what else? Right. I ain't paying for a third copy of this movie. I am going to contact their customer service once again. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to do it on stream, okay? We're doing it right now.
Wait, we're doing it right now?
We're doing it right now.
Yeah. Exactly.
Do it for the content.
All right.
Call them.
I'm not going to call them because they don't have a phone number, okay?
Oh, damn it.
This right here is their contact us page. With this movie up top, they're advertising called Pretenders. Just like they pretended to know what they're doing.
Transformers?
All right. So here is their contact page. Message. Hello. I have purchased your Shin Ultraman Blu-ray release. I have seen there were problems with the subtitles. I have seen others receive a replacement disc from you with the new corrected, what was the thing on their menu? What did it say? English subtitles from original Japanese dialogue. The new corrected English subtitles from original Japanese dialogue in place. I would like to get a replacement disc with this third version disc you are now offering. I await your response. Oh, let me put with let me change that. Less hostile. Let me know what information I need to provide to you to send me this replacement disc. All right, that's the message. I'm sending this right now. Does everyone see this?
You should also bring up the tweet I just made so we can rant about that too, since we're on Ultraman.
All right, where's your tweet? It's like opening Twitter will kill the stream.
It's literally at you.
Oh, you just added me? Okay, that'll be easy to get to. That's the message, guys. I'm going to turn the camera off so I can put my name and stuff in without doxing myself again. There is an error trying to send your message. Try again.
Of course.
Are you kidding me right now? Hold on, I'm gonna scroll up so it's not showing my name.
What happened,
and stuff.
Jerry?
It says there was an error trying to send your message. Please try again later. I can't even with this company, guys.
I feel bad for the most people. Like people who just see this new version of the Blu-ray, pick it up, who know nothing about like how subtitles work and such. And just like, I heard this Ultraman thing. I want to check this out and see this. Go like, what am I looking at?
They have this email address here. I'm just gonna email it to it directly. That's what I'm doing right now.
Like, of course we know what that menu means, sort of, but like, imagine for no one.
I cannot imagine how you comprehend that if you don't know how discs work.
Yeah, they just see it as like subtitles, Japanese. Like, well, which one do I pick?
Okay, so since that direct line isn't working, I'm not even saying thank you or sincerely. I'm just going to put name as the signature. All right, sending it as an email. It's done. I want this to be over.
End it the way Dick Cheney would at Walmart.
I legitimately, guys, I am. If they're like, oh, you have to buy another copy, I'm going to tell it to their face how ridiculous and scummy they are. Like I'm.
Yeah, If only we did this like the fancy way, where you have like the classical fancy music and Santa was writing on
Yep.
a feather with a pen, ink pen.
Imagine Sound Out writing it like Jimmy
Damn!
Fallon doing his letters to gag.
Mhm.
It has like the Jerry, you remember that video I showed you, right, where Fallon did it and he had Barack Obama there? That one with the letters, those diss letters that he sends. He's like, let's make it third, and it has like that sad music too, right, Cows? I'm talking about the one that
We
you
should
were
make an event if you get emo response, like a blues, like we just
If I get
got a letter.
Here's the thing, guys, I will keep you updated on what I get back from them, and we will check in on this weekly until I get a replacement disc, because I am not gonna I'm not stepping down from this one. I'm gonna fight them on this. Everybody that bought their crappy release, and everybody that got a replacement disc, that second edition replacement disc that's still not better, deserves the third disc for free. I don't want them saying, "Oh, you have to buy a new one." That's ridiculous. Like, you guys are the ones that screwed it up in the first place. Wheels made this tweet saying, because Ultraman Connection was promoting that Tamashii Nation is a great culture to Ultraman, and they had the grand opening in their flagship store. And like Wheels says here, literally Soundout12 and I told Sean Nichols, Tamashii Nation needs to step up its game, so maybe this means we'll get reissues for certain SHFs that are blocked from a North American release. Oh my God, Titus!
Tamashii Nations have been shit to us.
Yep.
And so, like, Ultraman Connection saying this is a fucking lie.
Yep. Swear jar, Wheels.
Put
in the swear jar.
No, he's not part of the chat. He's
not part of the chat, but he got to put in for the swear jar.
I don't. Part of the chat. See?
All right.
Yeah, no.
Should we get to the main story of the day?
Bullcrap. Bullcrap, man. Give us the thing, man. Because when we put up that interview with Sean, it'll prove that you guys are incompetent.
But I feel bad. Because that interview's been sitting in my editing queue for 4 months. I have been so exhausted trying to get videos done in like this stupid heat that I just have not been able to do it.
We got to fix the other interview that's been here since January.
Exactly, and that one's not as cool though. Let's be real. Anyways, I'm talking too much.
It technically is.
I'm gonna shut up about that now. Datboy Steve said Shin
The
Ultraman.
other one that you said that wasn't cool. Oh, sound out. No,
I didn't say it wasn't cool. I just said it wasn't as cool.
Invited me to a film festival to watch a screening, but I couldn't because I don't have a new passport.
Well, that's your problem. Anyways,
we could have met people. Can
we move on?
Oh.
This is not relevant to our live stream right now. Like, come on.
It's adding content. They need to hear us ramble.
What? We don't need to ramble. We still have the big Disney news topic. We don't need to ramble. We were running smooth. I'm cutting us off and we're moving on. All right. Snapboy Steve said Shin Ultraman versus Shin Soundout. Who will win this next epic battle? Tune in next week to find out.
What would be a Shin channel? It would be a cryptid version of you.
Shin Soundout is me when I keep talking too much. Yeah, the thing is, a bunch of P Bandai Ultra figure arts have been showing up with retail listings in the USA lately, so it's something. Yeah, but it's only the anime ones, and like Metron for some reason. So. Yeah. Disney's not giving us RID 2001, but Disney's putting out a 100th anniversary box set. I'm going to put my camera back on for this. You guys need to see my reactions as I read some of this. All right, hey, let's just hope the stream lives. Okay. God, this headline sucks. Disney sets a 100-film, 118-disc Disney Legacy animated film collection Blu-ray box for Walmart-only release on November 14th.
They meant your arch nemesis, Walmart.
Why would you put a 100-movie, $1,500 collection only at Walmart? Of all places.
Did Walmart order this?
I don't know what the point of this is. I don't get this. Anyways, it's going to be up for pre-order on September 18th. Exclusively at Walmart.com for some reason. Alright, it is confirmed that it'll contain 100 movies. Here is what the packaging art looks like. It is supposed to be all of Disney's theatrical animated films, as well as all the Pixar films. That's cool. they get to 100, they make it happen. Okay.
Is that including Song of the South or no?
No Song of the South, because first of all, they're never going to release Song of the South again. That mid-ass movie does not need to come out again. It's not worth the hassle, guys. I don't know who has to hear this, but as someone that has watched Song of the South, it ain't worth the backlash for re-releasing that movie. It's not good enough.
I think it's more
mid.
I think it's less about the movie. It's more just preservation. I think
the preservation. Yeah. The thing is, if that movie was not racist as hell and super controversial, it wouldn't have any notoriety. That is the problem. Also, if they hadn't built Splash Mountain with its animated characters.
I think it's just a historical, like, yeah, it's a racist film, but like,
yeah.
it is.
No, it's good. It's good for preservation. Absolutely, I agree with that. But like, it's not. There's nothing important about it besides the fact that it's kind of, you know, it's like the thing is Disney has been dealing with enough backlash due to their dumbass CEO. We don't like they're not going to touch that thing, you know. And as Spin Dash just mentioned, it does not qualify. Okay, if you're like, "Where's Song of the South?" you should be saying, "Where's Mary Poppins? Where's Bedknobs and Broomsticks? Where's Who Framed Roger Rabbit?" None of those are in here.
I imagine that, especially Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
The best one, actually, Pete's Dragon.
Pete's Dragon's not in here either because it's not. These are only, and I will go over every movie, guys. I made notes. I made extensive notes.
Are you Pokey Rapid?
No, we're gonna do this. Okay, so this won't be in Walmart stores. This is only online. It's $1,500.
Oh, even worse.
It's $1,500. That's $15 a movie. I can tell you that you can probably get some of these movies for $10 a piece. So there's that. So the thing is that as you can see, it's going to be in this like cardboard slip packaging with the posters and the discs are in there. That's cute. There's a crystal Mickey Mouse head. There's a lithograph. There's digital codes for every movie, which is pretty cool because some of these movies didn't have digital codes before. The plot twist is that there's 100 digital codes on a pamphlet. So for some reason, Disney still can't quite figure out how to make one code for all the movies like Universal does. Yes, this is $1,500. And I want to remind you guys that Paramount and Warner Brothers and Sony have also done really stupidly huge box sets of movies. Like Warner Brothers did a whole run of 100 film collections, and they were like $500 or $600.
Not as bad.
Not as bad. And those are fine. You know, I think those are fine. They're usually, those sets also include like 2 or 3 movies that hadn't hit Blu-ray yet, but then they'll do single releases of those. We are going to go through this entire list, but the thing I wanted to point out was this part down here. Not up here. It's up here. There is going to be 118 discs because 18 of the Pixar movies will include their special features discs. Any other movie will only contain whatever is on its main movie disc.
So it's just literally, is this set just taking the individual Blu-ray or Blu-ray disc and just putting them in
new labels?
It's just a repack?
It's a repack. So here's the thing that so Digital Bits is the one article I'm using here. They reached out to Disney to get clarification about the special features, and they clarified. None of these are the new remasters. So Snow White, Cinderella, Nightmare Before Christmas, those are not the 4K remasters on Blu-ray.
So it's already a ouch to the set.
So it's obviously the new Fantasia and Sleeping Beauty remasters that are being done. Those are out too. This will only be Blu-ray, no 4Ks. This will be relabeled discs. These are the same discs we've seen before. So I did my research. My research included me just going and grabbing all my Disney Blu-rays. Let me present to you the list. Okay, so here is every movie that's included in the 100 collection, and I gotta point out some dumb things. I also marked how they were previously released. Let's do this. So first up, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, which had already previously had a standard release Blu-ray and has a 4K coming next month. So the version that's going to be in this is the standard Blu-ray repacked. That's it. Pinocchio, standard release Blu-ray. Fantasia, standard release Blu-ray only sold with Fantasia 2000, and that is also getting a 4K later. Dumbo, Bambi, both had standard release Blu-rays. Saludos Amigos and the Three Caballeros was a little different because those were previously a Disney Movie Club exclusive. And the part that's confused me is the way that the packaging looks here. The way the packaging looks on this is they're going to do individual discs for these movies. So they show Saludos Amigos on this page, and then Three Caballeros is on the next page. But here's the thing. It can't be a direct reprint of the Three Caballeros Saludos Amigos disc because that was one disc that contained both movies. So that's a little... So the thing is, if you're looking at the movie collection without having a full breakdown, it should be less than 118 discs because Saludos Amigos and Three Caballeros were on the same disc before. Because those movies aren't long enough to put them on separate one. Right? Now, moving along, Make Mine Music and Melody Time were also Disney Movie Club exclusives. Those are single disc releases each. Now they are on this set, again, probably in single disc. The one that I think is actually probably the best thing here is Fun and Fancy Free, which has been out of print for a long time, because when they first released Fun and Fancy Free, it was bundled with...
It had a Blu-ray.
It had a Blu-ray. Fun and Fancy Free had a Blu-ray, but it was only in a bundle with The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad. Then they re-released Ichabod and Mr. Toad on its own, and Fun and Fancy Free never got a single release. Fun and Fancy Free also includes Reluctant Dragon as a bonus feature. Hopefully, that is still on this set, because Reluctant Dragon is the only Disney animated theatrical film to not be in the collection if they did not use the same disc. But adding to that, Fun and Fancy Free is on the same disc as Ichabod and Mr. Toad, so again, when we're going back to the formatting, that's a little bit weird. And if they actually reprinted the disc for Fun and Fancy Free to just be Fun and Fancy Free and leave off Reluctant Dragon, there's something they included later on that shouldn't be here. Alright, any questions so far?
Keep forgetting, where was Peter and the Wolf on?
Peter and the Wolf is a Silly Symphony short.
Is this including So there's no Pixar short collection? Everything.
No. This is just the theatrical films for the Pixar stuff, which we'll get there. We're only at 1950. So on page 1, any questions about page 1? Snow White to Toadin?
No.
All right.
Again, so this is just Snow White is just gonna be the original Blu-ray that came out how many years ago?
Yep. Cinderella, also going to be the original Blu-ray, not the 4K that came out this year. Alice in Wonderland, Peter Pan, Lady and the Tramp, Sleeping Beauty, 101 Dalmatians, Sword in the Stone, Jungle Book, Aristocats, Robin Hood, all the same discs that were released before.
So you're getting the really bad remaster they did years ago for
yes,
Cinderella?
it's probably the bad Cinderella. Because I forgot to check, and I should have checked, but I think the Cinderella 4K still includes the same Cinderella... No, wait, that's right, they kept the same bonus features. They did redo the disc for Cinderella to include the 4K transfer on the Blu-ray disc, so hopefully that's the disc they put in here, not the original 2009.
For people who don't know, the original Blu-ray remaster of Cinderella they did before, it washed out a lot of the detailing, because Cinderella's dress has a lot of like white line detail for the dress. The Blu-ray original remaster Blu-ray washes that all out.
They used an automated DNR and didn't check anything.
Yeah, it was just a blob of blue for her dress. The new
Sorry.
You go, Wheels?
I was gonna say, I was just looking at the list, and I still find it funny how like all the 50s movies suck ass except Sleeping Beauty.
Well, I mean, that was Disney back, and they just whatever makes it work. But yeah, so the new 4K brought back a lot of those details that the original Blu-ray remaster lost.
If you check out my Blu-ray news update video I did a little while back, I was talking about Snow White. It's the same kind of thing. It's just they really fixed up a crappy presentation they had before. All right, so moving on. Movies 22 through 33. We got Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, Rescuers. Rescuers was in a bundle with Rescuers Down Under, but they were on separate discs. Fox and the Hound. This is our first. All right, what the heck's going on here? They list Fox and the Hound in the list of movies. They don't list Fox and the Hound 2. The Fox and the Hound Blu-ray included Fox and the Hound 2 on the same disc. So technically, if they keep the same disc, we should also get Fox and the Hound 2 in this set. But there's no confirmation of that.
I guess unless it's in And I guess they really want to stick to directical films, so again, no direct-to-DVD sequels.
Which means they would have to re-author the discs to remove the direct-to-video sequels, which would make the price of the set dumber because they're wasting money at that point. All right, Black Cauldron, previously a Disney Movie Club exclusive, now on here. Great Mouse Detective, Oliver and Company, they're coming. Little Mermaid will be the Blu-ray, not the 4K, which is no surprise. Rescuers Down Under. Oh, yeah, that's right. Sorry, I put this in my notes. I corrected it. The Rescuers and Rescuers Down Under are on the same Blu-ray. So are they splitting them? Because if they're putting them in chronological order in the set, Rescuers Down Under comes in 1990, whereas The Rescuers is 1977. So why are they reauthoring all these discs, guys? It's annoying. Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, Lion King all had Blu-rays and 4Ks. Nightmare Before Christmas just got a new 4K transfer. In the Blu-ray, I haven't checked the Blu-ray disc. I don't even think I bothered. But the new 4K transfer didn't make it to the new Blu-ray disc, as far as I remember.
Is Nightmare in this set or no?
Nightmare's in the set. It's film 32 in the set. Which is interesting, because that's Touchstone.
Yeah, because I think people kind of forget that Nightmare is really not a mainline Disney film.
No, it was a Touchstone film, and it was Skellington Productions. Disney just loves banking on that movie, and that's why they put it in here.
Is history. Woo!
Yep. Lion King 94 is here. Goofy Movie is here, which was previously Disney Movie Club. Pocahontas.
Was Goofy Movie even released theatrically?
Yes, a Goofy Movie was. An Extremely Goofy Movie wasn't.
Like, I always thought Goofy Movie and Extremely were just direct-to-home video because
it was Goofy Movie was supposed to be direct-to-video. They upgraded it theatrical.
Yeah, because I think
it was made by Disney Toon Studios, who did all the direct-to-video stuff.
I think because also Goofy Movie doesn't really fit with the Renaissance era. So
it was a different studio. It wasn't Walt Disney Studios. It was Disney Toon Studios. Yeah.
So I think that's why, because you're not the only one who thought Goofy Movie was direct-to-DVD. Because I thought for a long time it was also a direct-to-DVD film.
Guys, the surprising not direct-to-DVD film hasn't come out yet. We haven't come up to it yet.
I always thought the movie sucked ass compared to the show.
All right, so moving along. Oh, by the way, no DuckTales movie. We'll talk about that in a moment.
Yeah, because that wasn't theatrical either.
No, DuckTales was theatrical.
You sure about that?
Yep. I double and triple checked my sources on this.
Because I'm assuming a lot of the I'm assuming a lot of the TV movie, assuming a lot of the cartoon movies are not included. Because I forget
none of the Disney Channel tie-ins are here. We'll talk about what's not here at the end.
Okay.
It's funny. They in the press release are like a perfectly curated set, and I'm like, you just picked this theatrical stuff. All right. Pocahontas was also on a single disc with Pocahontas 2. So are they going to remove Pocahontas 2? Or are they just going to reprint the disc? Toy Story is here, and it will include its bonus feature disc. James and the Giant Peach is somehow here. Again, it's like Nightmare, where it's like not technically a Disney movie. Like, Disney didn't want to put their name on it, but I guess they were like...
I kind of forgot that was done by, like, Precision.
It was also Skellington Productions, like Nightmare Before Christmas. So I guess that's why it's here. It's a weird inclusion.
I mean, Jack's in the movie.
Yeah. Hunchback of Notre Dame, another one where it was bundled with its sequel. Muteki, yeah, Disney still talks about Pocahontas, even though I think that film's more racist than Song of the South.
But
both are bad, but I really don't like Pocahontas, guys. I have a
Pocahontas sucks.
Yeah, no, I never like Pocahontas, but I think they have to because they think they're forced to put it because it's part of the Renaissance.
It's part of the Renaissance and it does sell. Here's the thing.
Do you know the
real
reason
the only good thing? The only good thing about Pocahontas is "Colors of the Wind" as a song. Everything else about that movie is awful, and it doesn't matter like the quality of the film. It's because it's based on real life people, and it is horrible. It is a horrible interpretation of real life people that lived.
Guys, do you know the real reason why they have to include it? And you're gonna I think you forgot this point.
What? I mean, it's a theatrically released Disney animated movie.
They list Pocahontas as one of the Disney princesses, so that's
I know. I hate it every time. And the thing is, all the other Disney anime movies are like based on fairy tales or books or original ideas.
Pocahontas is based off real
and that one's based off real life, and it's I don't like it. I don't like her having a romance story with her abuser.
It's not like you know other Native American women who weren't actually fully abused that actually
Yeah,
do
it's
things similar to Pocahontas,
what happened to
but-
Pocahontas in real life is horrifying, and it shouldn't be adapted into a romance.
It's actually
Disney
very Disney.
Because if I recall, like if anything, if I recall my history right, and it's been a minute, all right, I'm gonna tell you a better story from what I recall. Now,
I would rather not sidetrack that much. We got 20 minutes left, and we're
Yeah,
on
get
revision.
39.
But I was just gonna say,
When you start
if I
going
believe-
like through, if I should recall, I know it's going to be a long story. So short.
Like I say,
I mean-
Sacagawea, I believe, has a better story than Pocahontas, where she was actually
Yes.
rescued by her future love interest, or whatever, as history
See,
recalls.
Sacagawea doesn't roll off the tongue as nice as Pocahontas.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why I think they were going to go with her.
While a lot of these films, well, the Renaissance films won't go with the term Disney-fy, I think Pocahontas is the most, like, it's Disney-fy for a bad reason.
Mhm. Also, SSJ4 Jason mentioned Peter Pan. Yeah, Peter Pan has like aged poorly. You know, the thing is, the only excuse Peter Pan gets, the only excuse Peter Pan gets is it was made in 1953. Pocahontas was made in 1995. They should know better.
Yeah.
1995.
Also, I remember going to my theater, and they had an overstock of Pocahontas popcorn buckets.
Wasn't
at my
Pocahontas
theater.
wasn't that the box office flop of the Renaissance that kind of started killing that era?
Probably.
Yeah,
Probably,
I think
because
it
like
was-
that thing was so that the popcorn buckets were so overstocked. I went to Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, my first ever movie. My popcorn bucket was Pocahontas, and I was like, "Where's the Power Rangers popcorn bucket?" Like me as a 3-year-old.
And they're like, "We got to get rid of this Pocahontas stuff. It's not selling."
I mean,
I just Google searched. There was no such MMPR bucket, but I assumed there was an MMPR bucket because it was a Pocahontas.
Yeah,
film.
that's sadly probably the reason why. Because didn't Hunchback came out right after?
Hunchback was a
Pocahontas,
year
right?
later. Oh God, I love
Yeah, that's
Hunchback of
Really,
Notre
I've
Dame
always
was
thought that-
great.
Like it's funny. I've always thought of it as a 97, 98 film, only because it's
I realized
heavily
I could make
promoted
this
on
text a
all my
lot bigger for you
VHSs.
guys on the stream. There we go.
but still, like I feel like the reason what the failure of Pocahontas caused Hunchback to not do well, sadly, because
I mean,
Hunchback's
also
great.
Hunchback of Notre. It's a great movie, but that one's also
that one is
liberties
dark
were
as
taken.
heck because it's you know the thing is my favorite Hunchback of Notre Dame is still the 1923 one, but like this one's really good. It's also way too edgy for Disney's image at times.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I love how Will in the chat said the only reason Pocahontas sold was because ignorant little girls, little kids.
Yep, I honestly that's probably the reason.
I don't want to say I don't want to. Do I want to use the term white ignorance because I feel like the term white ignorance is very applicable here.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you this right now. It wasn't even just white kids.
Well,
I
no,
saw
it
black
It was
kids
white
in my
people that
school.
greenlit and made the movie.
Yes.
Yeah, no, it just that classical kids. Kids were introduced to the Pocahontas. They probably don't even know Pocahontas is based on a real event.
No,
because
they have no idea. Like that's the thing is, and Disney, it's a responsibility of Disney, not of the audience.
Mhm.
Yeah, Kyle mentioned that. Yeah, Pocahontas was done by their A team, and Lion King was done by their B team, and now Lion King's the one. Lion King's the one they do everything
we
with.
haven't. At least you haven't heard about a live action Pocahontas yet.
They better freaking not. Also, okay. Last Hunchback thing before we move on. Bob Iger said, or no, he didn't say it. It was like reported that they shelved the Hunchback of Notre Dame live action remake because Bob Iger didn't care for the movie, and I was like, oh my god, I'm horrified and relieved all at the same time. Like never in my life have I been so happy that someone didn't like a movie I liked.
I
Oh
used to
god,
hate
Spin Dash
Hunchback
is
of
reminding
Notre-
me about Pocahontas and Fantasmic. Yeah.
I'll tell you this quick. I used to hate the Hunchback of Notre Dame film just by its premise alone. As a kid, seeing it, I was like,
That
"Man, this
movie gets
looks
better when you
boring."
get older. It's really not a
Because I
kid's
said this
movie.
movie looks
That's true.
boring. I don't think it's
Mhm.
great. And my dad, having raised me on black and white horror films, already showed me the goated Lon Chaney swinging around like a monkey
Yep.
with makeup on, and I'm like, no, this is the Hunchback.
I
Some
tell you, there
bullshit
has
trying to
never
make-
been a greater Hunchback of Notre Dame movie since the Lon Chaney one from 1923. That is the pinnacle, and everything else is like at best. Second.
There's one that also ties it, and I'm trying.
No,
to
nothing
remember
ties
which is
it. It can tie for second.
It's because oh god, what's the other Hunchback?
I don't know.
have
Sorry, this became
black and white.
Hunchback talk, guys.
I'm right.
This is starting to become Disney movie.
I know.
discussion, which
We're only on movie 38. I promise you.
we-
Found out.
Yeah.
The 39 film is also a
Okay,
really
yeah,
good
the
film.
39 one's good too.
39 one with freaking with Charles Lawton as Quasimodo was amazing.
That's tied.
That one was
That's
great,
tied for
too.
2 with the Disney one for me. How about that?
You need to go watch Lon Chaney, Charles Lawton at one, and you're done. You don't have to watch any more Hunchback and
You know what?
Notre Dame
I want
after
to. You know what I'm going to do in October? I'm just going to do like a triple feature of Hunchback. Okay, I'm going to do Lon Chaney, then I'll do the 39, then I'll do the Disney.
You need to do like those sound out if you do.
Mr. Tanuki, those are 2 different Lon Chaneys you're talking about. Because Lon Chaney Sr. was the Hunchback. Lon Chaney Jr. was Wolfman. I like Hunchback 2 by Disney. I was happy they were bundled in on a single disc. That was my point I was making earlier. I don't know if I feel like I should put it in the trio of the 3. I mean, it's good. It's just, it's like it's number 4.
And we know why movie 39 was made. They were actually trying to capitalize off of the Raimi's popularity with Sorbo.
Yep. But we're not going to talk about that. All right.
That was the only reason they made that shitty movie.
So, moving on. Hercules. Hercules was a single release, so that's probably not changing.
I always said moving on, and then we go right back to Hercules.
I forgot we already did Hercules. I'm sorry.
I literally just said the only reason this movie was made was because Disney tried to capitalize.
My favorite Renaissance era, Disney Renaissance era movie, Mulan, is here. I love Mulan. Mulan was bundled with Mulan 2 on its Blu-ray, but its 4K was only Mulan. So I think that there was a Blu-ray. I think it was a 4K and Blu-ray for that Mulan, and I think they'll use that Blu-ray disc for this set. Bug's Life. It's gotten a 4K. You know what they should have done, guys? They should have taken all the Pixar out and made a Pixar 4K set, and then made this
Honestly,
just Disney.
that would have been better.
Yeah. I think that would have been better, because the more I think about it, the more I'm like, they could have done a cool Pixar 4K set and then filled out the Disney 100 set with the sequels and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Tarzan is here. None of the Tarzan sequels. Tarzan was released on its own before, so that's cool. Toy Story 2.
Tarzan are pointless.
Fantasia 2000's here. That was also 2 separate discs. The Tigger movie.
Wait, what?
The Tigger movie's here, because that was theatrical.
It was theatrical.
Oh, yeah, it was theatrical. I keep thinking of the direct-to-DVD one.
Yeah, I would have filled it in with the bad direct-to-video sequels, because a bunch of them were released on Blu-ray. So, Dinosaur, because you only have to fill 18 slots, so it's easy. Dinosaur.
God, I regret seeing that.
Dinosaur got in. Emperor's New Groove got in, but I don't know if Kronk's New Groove is getting in, because that was on the same disc as Emperor. There's never been an Emperor's New Groove single Blu-ray. It's always been in the same disc as Kronk. Same thing for Atlantis with the Milo's Return. Monsters Inc. is here. Return to Neverland, which was previously a Disney Movie Club. Yes, I do remember the Tarzan series. It was great. It's better than the movies.
I like the series more than the sequel movies.
I like that series more than the original movie, and I'll take that show over anything. I just wish it would be around more. But licensing. So movie 50 is Return to Neverland, which was one of the... It was supposed to be a direct-to-video sequel. It was released in theaters. I do remember that coming out in theaters. I did go see it, I think. That's a Disney Movie Club Blu-ray that's now in the set. Lilo and Stitch has Lilo and Stitch 2 on the same disc, so maybe that'll be here, maybe it won't. Treasure Planet. I'm happy Treasure Planet made it, guys. I'm happy Treasure Planet made it.
That movie's good.
Why wouldn't it be put on here?
Because Disney likes to ignore movies I like. Same with Black Cauldron being here. I'm just happy they're here. Jungle Book 2 apparently had a theatrical run, and I had no idea.
It did.
It did, because I went to it.
I did not. I remember Return to Neverland. I do not remember Jungle Book 2.
I don't remember Return to Neverland because it was that limit. Because here's the thing.
I think both were limited releases, right?
Limited, yeah.
Yeah,
they were both.
Limited. I think we got Return to Neverland here instead of Jungle Book 2. Because that was like
Jungle Book 2.
Yeah.
Because Jungle Book 2 aired. Mighty Joe Young wasn't animated, Chris.
But yeah, Mighty Joe Young's... Yeah, this... For context, if you're just jumping in, this is a Disney movie bundle of just animated movies. Okay, Piglet's Big Movie was also a Disney Movie Club prior.
I keep forgetting all the Pooh films.
All the Pooh movies were yeah.
No.
Okay, the only Pooh movie
Titan AE's got to get a Blu-ray when Sony decides to do it. Finding Nemo, Brother Bear, once again, another one that had its sequel included on the same disc. Home on the Range made it, guys.
Well, they had to.
All right, Incredibles made it. Here's the big news right here. Number 59, Pooh's Heffalump movie has not been released on Blu-ray prior to this set.
Oh god, I forgot.
And I'm going to tell
that.
you, if you are the biggest Pooh's Heffalump movie fan in the world, don't go buy a $1,500 box set. I could almost... Oh, Titan AE was Fox, right. Oh, that's right. It was Fox. Disney hasn't done any new releases of Fox movies, so that's probably part of the holdup. Anyways, Pooh's Heffalump movie, I can almost tell you with near 100% certainty, will be on Disney Movie Club within the next 6 months.
You know what's funny?
I can guarantee all the other Pooh movies, all the other Pooh movie sequels are Disney Movie Club. This will come out on Disney Movie Club. I can almost guarantee you.
Because here's the thing: for people wanting to verify, the Pooh's Grand Adventure, the Search for Christopher Robin one, that came out before the Tigger movie, that was direct to video. Yes. That was supposed to be, I believe, an anniversary film.
That was
released for the Many Adventures.
And then all of them, have, and then all of them were theatrical after that. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So Pooh's Heffalump movie, I'm imagining that's getting a Disney Movie Club release in the next 6 months because based on the track record, that's happening. They're just debuting it here. Okay. There's no way they put budget into this set for that one movie. You know what I mean? They know what they're doing. Chicken Little's here. Cars is here. Meet the Robinsons. Ratatouille. WALL-E. Guys, why the hell is 2008 Tinkerbell here?
That was theatrical.
It was theatrical for 2 weeks, only at the El Capitan Theater. Then it was theatrical in Latin America and Asia.
It counts, I guess.
What?
Guess what? First of all, I think this slot should have been Reluctant Dragon. Okay? And it actually didn't really make money. It made, like, less than $2 million. All right. I did my research, and I have to tell you unfortunate things about what I did over the weekend. The 2nd through 6th Tinkerbell movies also all had limited theatrical releases, at least at the El Capitan Theater, as well as internationally. If the first movie's limited release at El Capitan counts it as a theatrical, all 6 should count, and in fact, the 4th movie got a wide limited theatrical release for 2 weeks across the country. That's why I say this set makes no sense. Tinkerbell shouldn't be here, and if Tinkerbell's here, the other 5 should be with it. I don't know why I'm so upset about this.
It's just weird. Like,
there was a simple solution. It was called Leave Tinkerbell out, have Reluctant Dragon be the... Hold on. Have Reluctant Dragon be the 100th movie. It feels like they tossed Tinkerbell in just to get to 100, forgetting Reluctant Dragon is right there.
I think also because it's Tinkerbell. Like, it's their mascot.
I know, and those movies apparently did well because they made 6 of them.
Yep.
They were essentially direct-to-video, but they had limited theatrical, so they all technically should be here. And again, if you had left out Pixar, if you put Pixar in its own set, you could have had room for all 6 Tinkerbells. As well as Reluctant Dragon could have been named. As well as, you could put in the DuckTales movie and stuff. Alright, moving on. Bolt, Up, Princess and the Frog, Toy Story 3, Tangled, Cars 2, Winnie the Pooh 2011, Brave, Frankenweenie. They were just like, we're going to put our 3 Tim Burton inspired movies in this. You get Nightmare, you get James the Giant Peach, and you get Frankenweenie.
Because Frankenweenie's very forgotten.
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised they put it in here.
Yeah, I'm surprised too. Also, Winnie the Pooh 2011, underrated movie. It's actually Disney's last 2D theatrical film.
Mm-hmm. Do you know why
people think it's Princess and the Frog, but they forget about the Winnie the Pooh.
You know why that movie didn't do that good, right?
Because it was 2D. That's one.
Yep.
No. There's another.
It was 2D, and they didn't
it.
market it as an event. They underplayed
it. They had poor marketing. And they opted to not bring back all the still living actors.
That's right. They changed the cast
from Many Adventures. They changed too many of the cast of the actors, so they were like, "Oh, we don't need the guy who voiced Owl, even though he was still alive. We don't need the voice of Rat. We need to actually get British actors and all this stuff." And I'm like, "No."
That movie is hilarious, though.
What's Cullen in that movie? I forget.
Peter Cullen? I don't know. I'm gonna look it up right now, guys. I'm looking it up right now.
I don't remember if he was.
We're gonna look it up right now. Film.
just remember like they were like, we don't need everyone for a rabbit, owl, but they were like, I think Jim Cummings was still Tigger and Pooh.
No, you what? I think.
Let's
Jim
see.
Cummings
It was a $30 million budget. It made $50 million at the box office. It's not bad. It was. Let's see. Was it hand drawn?
Yes.
It was hand drawn. Yep. Double check that. Yeah, it was Jim Cummings as Winnie and Tigger, but then suddenly Travis Otis was Piglet, Bud Lockley was Eeyore, Tom Kenny was Rabbit, Craig Ferguson was Owl,
Yes.
John Cleese is the narrator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's still a good movie though. I like it a lot.
Yeah, because what they did was for the first time ever, well, not the first time ever, but what they tried to do was better adapt the actual A.A. Mills stories, because the original ones loosely adapted it.
Yeah, no, Disney has their own
Altered
distinctive
things.
version. It's kind of like, it's that and Christopher Robin are the two Disney-produced Pooh things that actually fit closer to the books.
Oh, dude, Christopher Robin was so good.
That was so.
I definitely
That
love
movie
it.
is so
That
good,
was
but I can
underrated.
never watch it a second time because I cried my eyes out the first time.
I think that movie's very underrated because I feel like people just see
Everyone like
live action
shit on that
Disney.
movie for some reason.
People are like, oh, it has the color palette of Logan, and I'm like, look at the story they're telling you. It's incredible. Yeah. Anyways.
I still love the meme though of Pooh on the counter when he trashed the kitchen and they gave him the lightsabers of
Yes.
hello Kenobi.
Yeah,
Still one of my favorite memes.
It's great. That movie is great. It's really charming. They did a really good job with it. If you've never seen
They found
it,
out the reason why
it'll
when I'm
hit
looking
you
out
in
the
your
window-
childhood soul, like directly and deeply.
The reason why when I look out the window of my car when I'm on the road, I'll be like tree. I just start doing what Pooh
Tree,
and Ian
bush,
McGregor do.
Car, bus.
Golly.
I love that movie, but I can never watch it again. Anyways, we got Brave, we got Frank and Weenie,
Atwell.
Oh, Haley Atwell too, yeah. Oh, sorry, Wreck-It Ralph, Monster University. For context, all the Pixar movies have 4Ks.
Yep, and they remind me of Planes and its sequel, Theatrical Films.
Planes and Planes Fire and Rescue got in.
Yeah, they were practical, even though they're made by the Disney Toon Studios.
I'm not even questioning at this point. The thing is, the Tinkerbell makes less sense than Planes. Frozen, Big Hero 6, Inside Out, Good Dinosaur, Zootopia, Finding Dory, Moana, Cars 3, Coco, Incredibles 2, Ralph Breaks the Internet, Toy Story 4, Frozen 2, Onward, Soul, Raya and the Last Dragon, Luca, Encanto, Turning Red, Lightyear, Strange World, Elemental. None of those are surprises, and none of those have any weird stories.
I'm surprised they just didn't wait until Wish came out. Because
I'm surprised too, because it comes with a lithograph for Wish, and you could have left out freaking Tinkerbell.
Santa versus Tinkerbell.
The Tinkerbell inclusion is just weird to me, especially like with Reluctant Dragon not getting listed, and maybe not even in the set.
You know what? I'm kind of thankful, but also surprised it's not on here.
Mm-hmm.
The live action quote unquote Lion King.
That one's okay. I was about to get to that. Here is the stats. Yeah, Strange World did come out on Blu-ray. All right, here's the stats. 8 of these movies were previously Disney Movie Club exclusives, but look, here's the thing. You can probably get them cheaper through Disney Movie Club than a $1,500 box set. It's not that I hate Tinkerbell. I just hate Tinkerbell in the set. It doesn't make sense.
I'm going to be honest with you. I hate Tinkerbell. That'll make you feel better, someone.
All right.
Yeah.
The following movies are on single disc bundles. They're sequels. However, the sequels aren't listed. Fox and the Hound, Pocahontas, Hunchback, Mulan, Emperor's New Groove, Lilo and Stitch, Brother Bear. It includes all the Pixar films, no live-action hybrids, so no Pete's Dragon, no Bed's Bottom Boonsticks, no Mary Poppins or Returns, no Enchanted, no Roger Rabbit. None of them.
I mean, Roger Rabbit...
See, Song of the South isn't even out because of controversy. It's out because they're not doing the hybrids.
So, with Roger Rabbit question, I forget.
Yeah.
What is the legal owning
Disney owns it.
Disney owns it, okay.
Disney owns it. Disney releases it. Disney cannot make a sequel to it. Disney cannot produce more material for it. They just own it. That's it. No tie-in movies, TV shows, no DuckTales, no Doug, which none of the Disney Channel connected theatrically released movies, like DuckTales, Doug, Recess, Lizzie McGuire is a hybrid as well, but all of those, they've never gotten Blu-rays either. So, no Blu-rays there. And then the 2 missing theatrical animated Disney movies is Reluctant Dragon, which may be on the Fun and Fancy free disc if they didn't change it, and Lion King 2019, because that is not a damn live action movie. That is a freaking animated film.
Yeah, that's a animated film, which I hate with my burning soul.
Direct-to-video sequels aren't included if they didn't have a theatrical release. None of the Disney distributed movies, including Studio Ghibli, and none of the ImageWorks CG mocap co-production movies like Mars Needs Moms and Christmas Carol.
Any of the Robert Zemeckis films.
Yeah, the Robert Zemeckis ones. Disney still owns the two movies they co-produced, which is Christmas Carol and Mars Needs Moms, but they did not include them in the set, probably because they use mocap as their basis for animation, so that would disqualify them. The Wild is not here because Disney did not make that.
Who made? I think
it was some Singaporean studio. Yes, Disney doesn't even own the rights to the Ghibli movies anymore. And what was the other movie? God, it was Romeo and Juliet. Disney distributed it, but it wasn't.
They did? I thought that was a Sony. I thought that was Sony or Fox.
The sequel was.
Okay.
Disney didn't own it. Yeah, none of the Fox movies are here. But yeah, ask questions away, guys. I did way too much research on this. Like, way too much research on this. I shouldn't have done this much, but I was like, I gotta deliver to my audience. I do say, though, in general, I'm not buying this box set. I don't think it's necessarily worth $1,500.
I mean,
when you break it down, it's not that bad, but here's the thing.
Disney,
do you want Planes, Fire, and Rescue?
Here's the thing. I think this would have been a good deal if this came with all the bonus. If it came with all the bonus features of each movie and everything. If this was like, hey, want to own every single Pixar every single Pixar Disney movie get the set. But no, it's just the movies. And you'll get lucky. Some that comes with their special features, all that stuff.
And that's the part that bugs me too. Is I wish that they.
I feel like including the bonus features makes it a complete package because what's the point? I don't know, because I feel like what's the point of owning all these at once if you don't gain them at their completeness?
I'm glad people like Planes, Fire, and Rescue. I retract my statement. Now I'm going to complain about Tinkerbell again. No, the thing is that ultimately for me, Muteki, Toy Story 4 and Cars 2 are here. For me, I look at the set, and I looked at it. I own all but 36 of these movies. Of those 36 movies, I only want 15 of them, and 5 of them I'm waiting on 4Ks. So there's only 10 of them I don't have. The Rescuers Blu-ray does have the naked lady still in it. They didn't censor that. And I have the most recent one of that. The thing is, I still need, like, Aristocats. But I'm kind of like, is there going to be a 4K? I need Dumbo. Is there going to be a 4K? I need Bambi. Is there going to be a 4K? Pinocchio, 4K? You know what I mean? That's the kind of the thing. For me, I'm like, this set's not worth it to me. I own like 80% of it already.
That's funny.
I don't want some of the recent movies. I don't want Strange World. I don't want Onward. I've not seen Turning Red. I don't know if I want that. So, I don't want Ralph Breaks the Internet. I thought that movie was garbage.
Well, I was saying that the Turning Red Soul, they're on that set, right?
Yeah, Turning Red and Soul are here.
Okay.
Because
because those are Disney.
Those were, because they have all the Pixar.
Because I was wondering because they are technically Disney Plus movies, technically.
Yeah. I've bought Sword in the Stone so many times at this point. That's the thing is I think that anything from the classic era is going to get a 4K at this point. I should just wait. Anything that's modern, I should just pick them up. And that's the thing too is I think that's the problem is that this set, unlike the Hitchcock sets or the Universal Monster sets, these aren't all the same kind of movie, And even if you're a hardcore Disney fan that buys all their movies, you probably have all of them except for Heffalump movie. That's the problem.
We need to have fun cut.
I mean, the Heffalump movie, I'm sure is coming out on its own disc. They did not HD that movie just to not.
Yeah, when's our Pooh? Where's our Pooh anniversary? You said.
I don't know, but the thing is that.
Fine, you realize if they do a Pooh set, what they need to do is to do many adventures with even the shorts all cut up in their individual form, as well as their full movie form. Yours Birthday, Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, all the specials for it, all the movies that followed after that. That'd be incredible. I'd buy it. I'd buy it.
It'd be cool. Let's see. RX0, we've been talking about the Disney 100 Blu-ray box set and breaking down each movie and how it was released, and we just finished, so I'm not going to go back through it all again. But you can check it out.
Post stream.
Yeah, we'll have the stream will be up after we're done. Infinite has the Return of a Jafar VHS. That's impressive.
I thought that wasn't that.
Which part makes it rare?
Because there was a different cover variant on it.
What I'm saying.
Wasn't Return of Jafar? Wasn't Return of Jafar got a theatrical release, like a limited theatrical release?
No, I've heard that because like Darkon said that. You've said it. I couldn't find any evidence of it.
It's probably one of those Mandela effects, I imagine.
Yeah,
I feel like
Return of Jafar was really hyped up because they pumped that thing so quick. Oh my god. Aladdin came out in '92. Return of Jafar was out in '94. It had okay. So the interesting part is it has a box office number, $300 million in rentals. So it's weird. How's the color Cinderella's dress? In the box set, we think it might be the old master. We have no confirmation if it's using the new Blu-ray master. Yeah, see, the thing is that... So apparently they sold 15 million VHS tapes of Return of Jafar. That's incredible. That's amazing for a direct-to-video. And apparently the reason it wasn't sent to theatrical was because they could make it faster for home video than theatrical. Which is crazy. But yeah, that movie was. It's because they could make it shorter. They didn't have to. If it was going to be theatrical, it had to be longer. That was why. What was I talking about? Smith the Crow said, "Take out Tinkerbell, replace it with Doug's first movie." Doug's first movie doesn't have a Blu-ray. It's only been a DVD. I would have put the DuckTales movie instead over Doug. No offense to Doug.
I think with the Doug Disney is Doug is one of those limbo license because I know Nick.
You can still buy the Doug movie DVD on Disney Movie Club, so it's not like banned. But...
I don't think Disney wants to do a Blu-ray mostly because I think they still own their cut of Doug. I think Nickelodeon is doing not that much of Doug because now ain't like the
nobody's doing anything with it, but nobody wants to poke that bear.
Yeah, no one wants to poke that bear. Yeah.
I think we're not going to see the DuckTales movie remastered unless they do all of DuckTales. They did Rescue Rangers. Where's the DuckTales? You know.
Both series.
Yeah. I think they do the DuckTales movie as part of that. I think they would do, Recess. I don't think that there's enough demand for it. First, what was that? Teacher's Pet.
Yeah.
That one's also. I don't think there's enough demand for it, but those are all DVD only still. So that's probably another reason why they're not here. I still would have excised Pixar into its own collection, made it a 4K set. And then,
because not every Pixar fan's a fan of all the mainline Disney and vice versa, all that stuff.
I personally, I like Pixar, but I do prefer mainline Disney a little more. If I'm choosing, I have more favorites in the mainline Disney than you Pixar.
You're 100% right because the problem with Pixar is they were too quick to rush sequels. I feel like, and another thing I have a problem with Pixar is. Just how their use of CG warped people's mentality to think.
I also don't like that when Disney merged Pixar into their animation studios, they kind of homogenize the Disney animated movies to look like Pixar movies. Like when I was sorting movies out, I kept mixing up whether Frozen or it's like Encanto. I kept thinking Encanto was a Pixar movie. I kept thinking like Moana was a Pixar movie, or that Coco was a Disney movie. Like I kept mixing them up because they all look kind of the same, like art style.
So I'm gonna be honest, Pixar damaged 2D animation.
Yeah, it did.
Wheels, you've been saying you're saying what many people have been saying for
it definitely did.
Decades now.
Because it became this thing of like, oh, Pixar is more emotionally deep, and then Shrek was like, oh, it's more adult comedy, and then Disney was stuck in the middle going, all ages? And then, so their movies weren't getting taken seriously at 2D, so they thought the problem was the format instead of the movies they were producing. I look at the list of, like, Disney movies at that time, I'm like, oh god, no wonder they're falling apart. Yeah, I was gonna say, Muteki, there is a King of Thieves Blu-ray for Aladdin in a bundle with Return of Jafar, and it is a Disney Movie Club exclusive. So it exists. You have to buy both of them, and you gotta get it to Disney Movie Club. I'm not planning to get the remastered Gargoyles games. I'm not getting the limited edition. I'll probably get the game itself. Maybe. I've heard so many bad things about the original version of that game.
Gargoyles?
Yeah. Heard it's infinitely not great.
I heard it's hard. I heard it's hard like most Disney Genesis games.
Yeah, I also I don't have the patience for those anymore, guys. I just don't.
Well, you don't want to play the Lion King Genesis game?
No, I have that Disney Afternoon collection or whatever they put out, and I can't even beat
the
any of
cat.
those
Oh yeah,
games.
the Catcon collection.
I did beat DuckTales Remastered though, but that was because Way Forward knows what they're doing. Is it Way Forward? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Here's the secret of Disney Movie Club. As in, I'm just going to show you guys on the screen.
Oh, speaking of Disney,
here's Aladdin.
I know.
Here's the Aladdin. For some reason, they list King of Thieves first. Was King of Thieves the second? I thought Return of Jafar was the second.
No. Return of Jafar, then King
of Thieves actually had Robin Williams brought back.
It's also pretty much the series finale for the card.
Yeah. King of Thieves was the third one. Yeah, so I don't know why they put him like this.
They told Homer Simpson we finally got the real man back, and he was like, "Okay, fine."
No. He's just don't.
Yep.
I know we're overstream.
Spin Dash. Yeah, we're overstream. I'm just talking Disney stuff. Tron and Tron Legacy 2-pack. I want the Tron movies on 4K. If Disney's doing 4Ks, where's Tron? Oh my god.
So would you like to hear a fun Disney story?
Is it short?
Yes.
Okay, go for it.
You guys know how Pinocchio failed during its original release due to World War II, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
They were like, "Yo, let's try to repackage it and pretend we never released it during."
Well,
World War II.
that's what they did back in the day.
They would that. It's the thing that Disney should be doing instead of doing these live action remakes. Just re-release the movies.
Anyways, you know how they decided to start really re-releasing them in theaters because of World War II and stuff, and they started doing it for all the other films. Well, when they did the second reprint, that was one of my dad's first movies going to in theaters. Whenever I bring up Pinocchio, my dad's like, "Yeah, I saw it when it was first in theaters." And I'm like, "Dad, what are you talking about?" And then my dad made the joke, "No, first in theaters was when it finally became a box office hit because they released it in World War II, and it was a fucking bomb." And my dad had to make the joke, what happened in Pearl Harbor, and I was like, "God damn it, Dad!"
It still kind of bums me out that the Tron movies you can only get the singles. And there's no 4Ks.
Related.
No, I think Dumbo also got affected by World War II, but Pinocchio got really affected.
I think it got really affected by. No, I think Dumbo released right before World War II.
Everything got affected by World War II. I don't think people even realize how that all changed.
I forget. Was those listings for Mandalorian season 3? Was those real or fake?
Okay, so there's a guy on Twitter who posts. Half his Twitter account is crap takes and troll posts, and then half of it is legitimate Blu-ray scoops. And he's right most of the time, so we can say that it's kind of on point. But it also makes sense that with how the, I think even on Disney Movie Club, you can't even buy the 4Ks anymore. The 4K Blu-rays sold out at several places and are selling really well for the Disney Plus shows. So Falcon and Winter Soldier, Andor, Mandalorian Season 3, and I think Book of Boba Fett are almost all but confirmed for next year. For Disney Movie Club, not for Disney Movie Club, for the Disney Plus shows. So, Captain America got invented by World War II. He wasn't affected by World War II. He was invented because we need somebody to punch Hitler.
Yep.
But yeah, the Disney Plus shows have been selling really well. Don't be surprised if they just roll out all the Marvel and Star Wars ones.
Could you imagine if someone had the balls to try to make a Disney series, not just a movie, but a Disney series still based on the styles of original vintage Disney artwork and stuff like Snow White, Pinocchio, and Sleeping.
You mean cell? You mean cell animation?
You don't even have to make it on set. You don't even have to make it on cell, but just try to do digital art loosely. Imagine trying to do a series just inspired by
they try.
They're
trying to do that with Wish, but I'm not sure it's. I'm not sure it's really doing it.
Real quick, the live-action Snow White isn't canceled. It's just on hold because they didn't finish filming it before the strikes.
What are those strikes?
Put on hold because they had to rework the entire thing.
Well, it's put on hold because of the strikes.
Oh, you said
It's
rework.
not, the Snow White controversy has had no impact on the development of that movie because no one can work on it.
Three wolves.
What's the controversy?
Free Wolf
I'll tell you later, Ryan. It's not worth getting into.
started a fight with other little people.
Snow
More than
White.
that, though.
If
There's more
live action
layers to
Snow
this.
White is as bad as the stuff that's leaked out about it, if all that stuff that's leaked out about it is true, live action Snow White is going to be the Pinocchio of our day.
Oh boy.
Not Pinocchio, sorry.
Yeah.
Pocahontas. They will be the Pocahontas of the modern day.
Oh boy.
And, you know what's funny? People
Scrub
say that
Lord
the
mentioned a
recent
full
live-action
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Pinocchio-
set. I would like that because season 6 and 7 never got released in English anywhere.
It sound out. You know what's
And
funny?
RX
People
Zero,
say
I
that
don't
the-
think they're ever going to remaster the original Star Wars trilogy to be closer to what it originally was because George Lucas, I think, made it into his contract that you can't. I think he just made it his thing. Anyways, the short version on the live-action Snow White is that they made some changes to try and be more inclusive, but they ended up making a lot of really tone-deaf decisions that I think that if it ends up becoming what it currently seems to be, it's probably going to be one of those movies that pisses off everybody. So that'll be fun.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Spin Dash, yeah, they did release season 6 and 7 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in Japan, but they are, I think they're hard subbed. I don't know for sure. I mean, we'll find a place to buy them. But if you look at, there's UK Blu-rays for seasons 1 through 5 of S.H.I.E.L.D., but not season 6 and 7. So that's another thing on the wish list. All of Agent Carter got Blu-ray, though, which is nice. HBO Max Velma's a very good comparison, actually.
Oh no!
Where it's like you can see that it's like on one hand they're trying to be more inclusive, and on the other hand they're bungling it so badly that it pisses off everybody. Like everybody gets mad at it.
Mm-hmm. Literally.
So right, because a lot of the YouTubers Soundout hates have had like leaks and clips, and no, I agree with
I have seen set photos for Snow White, and I'm like, if that's what
No,
I think it is, this is going to be really bad.
The only thing that's good is the Evil Queen. I wonder why.
I don't even think the Evil Queen's a good thing when based on how Gal Gadot's been lately.
Oh.
I mean, she's a bad actress. She just looks nice.
It's weird. Gal Gadot lost her acting ability somewhere in the last 3 years.
She never had an acting ability.
I don't want to be mean, but like I agree. As I watched the DCE.
No, here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing you forgot.
I don't think she ever was an actress. I think
Gal Gadot
and knew how to
Gal Gadot's the last time she was able to pull off a really good performance was the first Wonder Woman movie, and everything since has been her best stuff is in Fast and Furious. And
she's like a horrible actress. She
is terrific in Fast and Furious. Okay,
she actually is.
It's an action role.
Yeah, like in Justice League, I don't know what happened in Justice League. I don't know what happened in '84. I don't know. I like her as Wonder Woman in concept, but it's clear that without strong direction, she doesn't have the skill.
I started watching 1D84 recently. Yeah. Oof. Yeah.
That movie has 1,000 problems, and they all lead back to Patty Jenkins. I will say that the thing is with Gal Gadot.
I love it, Jared. True. Like it's like we all agree. Patty Jenkins.
Because that
sucks.
movie we saw it and you fell asleep and I thought you were still awake.
I was laughing.
I was exhausted that Christmas.
All of the bad ideas in that movie was Patty Jenkins' fault. And the thing is that the reason why the first Wonder Woman movie turned out pretty good was because Alan Heinberg was co-writing that script. And then they kicked Alan Heinberg and made 84, and then Alan Heinberg's like, "See, you did need me."
Yep.
I will say though, Gal Gadot's great. Gal Gadot's great in Fast and the Furious as well for one reason. In addition to, I think she's just well cast in that, and the part really fits her, like her natural ability. It's that in the first movie, she's playing somebody who's like shifting around, kind of back and forth. You're not sure if they're real or not. So like some of her flatter acting performances can be like it's kind of an in-character thing too. And that's the thing. You got to write for your actors. Kind of like how they rewrote Aquaman's entire thing for Jason Momoa.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you just gotta write for the actor.
Oh yeah, that teaser came out recently.
Oh yeah, there's an Aquaman trailer in 4 days. I'm not covering it because Warner Brothers doesn't want me to.
It's like, hey, look, they remember that movie.
I'm still mad about the Blue Beetle trailer reaction thing. Linda Carter, I think, is still our best live-action Wonder Woman. Simply also taken from the fact that Linda Carter is just a wonderful person.
Still love one of the greatest stories I heard. I don't know how true it is. About one time where her top fell off, and she said their boobs just keep rolling.
Yes, that did happen.
Her top fell down. Yeah, and she just said something like whatever, and they just kept doing the scene from the neck up or whatever. It was weird. It was weird.
I wish that that's the norm, because that is very true.
Oh my god, they have a mouse pad for the Power Rangers. I just went on Big Bad Toy Store randomly. I think I gotta get a new mouse pad, guys. Look at this. It's the finale to Necessary Evil cover art. So it's got all the Omega Rangers, the Solar Ranger, and Ranger Slayer on it.
For a second, I thought it was gonna be one of those anime mouse pads for a split second. It's like, what?
I know, no. This one's chill. I've been rocking this. Let's see if I can switch.
Still mad I never got.
I've been rocking this weirdly cropped Enterprise D mouse pad for a while. So
I never got any of the Bleach mouse pads.
Oh, they have multiple power. They have a Power Rangers gaming mouse pad with look at this. Breaking news, guys. Comic art on mouse pads. That's pretty cool.
Can we end stream for like 20 minutes?
Nah, we're gonna look at mouse pads.
I need to go, guys.
Why isn't it?
Can I turn it into a fashion stream then? I mean,
oh my god! Look at this horrifying mess.
Wait, Jerry, I want to make sure. You said fashion, right?
Yeah.
Because my brain wanted to do the thing where I heard you correctly, but my brain's like, no, he said fascist wheels. He didn't say fashion.
I need to go
now.
There's G.I. Joe and Transformers ones too. Anyways, I'm done. Let's go. I think we're done. I think we've exhausted ourselves.
I had to go.
Ryan's got to go. And you know what? I need to go.
His people need him.
I need to go finish building Shine Greymon. I need to go finish building Shine Greymon so I can get him.
You can literally build Shine Greymon while talking to us.
Oh no, I gotta go get it done though. I can't be on stream building it, so it's time to move.
Fine. You're just gonna go hang out with us and end the stream.
You should do a building stream where you just like and there's no news at all, and you just could do like a.
I'm last thing Infinite. Because I said I wasn't going to talk about the Power Rangers thing. I have been saying for months that the best thing Power Rangers could do is stop adapting Sentai. That does not mean getting rid of the core things that make Power Rangers a thing, that makes Sentai storytelling a thing. Like, keep all the core elements, but stop adapting Sentai. This is an outdated model. Put some money into it, commit to it, make something new. That's it. That's all I got.
Yeah, we'll be here all day.
Yep, it's time to leave. That's why I'm leaving it at the end.
Follow me at Dark Pussy 43 on YouTube and Twitter. I do art commissions like the one you see this very channel. If you want to join,
find them on the Discord. Join the Discord.
Yeah, if you
link
want
in
to
the
join the Discord, link description below. If you curious, on Fridays and Sundays we do watch parties of the newest episodes of Comrade Blazar, Ultraman Blazar, and Comrade Gotchar. Blazar's on Friday, Gotchar on Sunday. That's 8 p.m. for Blazar and 5 p.m. for Gotchard. So you want to join in and watch. If you don't want to personally download the subtitles and you want to watch for free, come join the Discord, I guess.
Yep.
But yeah, I hope so. So have fun. Have fun if you join the Discord.
Fighter Cows, you're streaming tomorrow, right?
Yes, barring I don't get randomly sick again. At 4 p.m. Eastern, over on twitch.tv/fightercows.
Mm-hmm. That'll be a fun time. And Wheels, what happens Wednesdays?
Yeah. You can check me out at YouTube and Twitter at Wheelchair21, and you can also possibly check me out streaming on Tuesdays and Thursdays, possibly in the future. I don't know what time I'll be doing it, but it'll be on evenings, but currently on Hero Club's Twitch. And check us out Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Hero Club Weekly, where we do the news, we mostly Tokusatsu, anime, and Gunpla stuff that happen. Pretty much a little bit of what we do here, over there. And that's probably going to join us this week to talk about the discourse for Power Rangers, because Soundout's been dipping because of all the goddamn streaming shows and the fact that he keeps breaking his air conditioning at his house.
Thanks, Heat.
and on Fridays we do the game night. But there's gonna be gaming since I can stream, and we've been testing and getting all those kinks and bugs fixed. So yeah, so game night Friday, and there'll be more other game nights where it's not hosted by Metal but me.
Yeah, you guys should switch it up. Exactly. Yeah.
Also, check out
and then let me play
Hero
Pokemon.
Club check out Hero Club at hero-club.com. Follow us across social media using Hero Club for Life. Check out the Hero Club Patreon because, my God, people, it costs so much money sometimes for certain actors. My God. If you want to help us out.
Bills to pay certain actors.
Exactly. If you want to help fund future interviews, please help support us at the Patreon.
That's everything, right?
Sure.
There will be videos this week. I haven't totally decided what they're going to be yet because I'm a little tired from that Star Trek video. So we'll see what happens. There, of course, will be a short Tuesday and Thursday and full videos Wednesdays and Friday. Likely Wednesday's video is going to be Shine Greymon because I need to go finish building him. But that does it for this week's stream. I hope you all will check us out next week. Same time, same channel. I could have made a Batman joke. I didn't. I like to swerve sometimes. And we'll see y'all next week.